It's all about the journey. Where are you going? Fire in my eyes, I keep on growing. This is a little personal, the LA Project Show.
All right, y'all. Welcome to the show. Turn my music down a little bit. Welcome everybody to the LA Project. Another episode. Back with another one. Welcome to everyone in the building, watching live or on the replay. Please go ahead and make sure that you hit that like button, share it out to a friend, because sharing is caring. Subscribe if you have not. Keep your notification bells on every single time I go live. All right. Just wanted to come and just tap in a little bit, you know what I mean? Hang out with y'all for a little while. Want to talk about something. Want to talk about the importance of influence and the responsibility that each and every one of us have, to a certain extent, when it comes to how we want to live our lives and do what we do, and just do me, whatever the case might be, right? But it has other implications. Don't get into that. All right, let's shout y'all out a little bit in the building. Let me see who's up in here. We got people on the Twitch side. Welcome from Twitch. Make sure that y'all like the video, subscribe to the channel if you have not. What's good today? Hey, having a great day. Hope that you having the same. We got Conceited in the building. What's going on with you? Appreciate it. Sure will. You guys make sure that you catch up on the Twitch side on any of the replays. All right, because I've been stacking up those videos over there. So make sure that you catch the replay on those. All right. Okay, so I wanted to talk about influence. And even though a lot of, it's not just towards the young, you know what I mean? There's lots of impressionable people out there for one reason or another. Usually it's something that people have felt like they missed out on, or maybe they legit missed out on in their childhood. And as they get older, they stay in the pursuit of whatever they felt like they've missed. All right. And because of that needing and that yearning to understand or to have some type of archetype, somebody that you can look back to for advice and stability and all those things, right? If you don't have things like that, you're susceptible to being impressionable. And it don't matter the age, right? So we gonna talk about influence. Now, I normally stick to the rivers and lakes that I'm used to, all right? So as a 40-something-year-old woman, as a single mother, I'm going to focus on the things that I know, the things that I've experienced and I can speak on with confidence, and getting ready to go over the content for today. It just made me think about the younger people that I know, including my children, and anybody else that surrounds them, any other younger person that surrounds them. I think about how different it is to live in this generation I don't know about y'all, but I'm an 80s baby. That's when, people still opened up the fire hydrants to let the kids play. You stayed outside until the street lights came on. Nobody had cell phones, and it was up to you to remember. Okay, not only book knowledge, but street smarts, having common sense, all those good things. There weren't smart devices. There weren't ways for us to talk to people from different places in the country or different people in the world. And it's totally different, for the kids that are growing up in this generation. You know what I'm saying? And I acknowledge that. Even with mine, I got teenagers, and there's a different set of lessons that have to be kind of taught that are different than what I'm used to. But as I know, the world is always changing. There's more exposure to everything these days. And I think it's in your best interest, if you are a parent, that you equip your children and have those conversations, even if you don't want to. We got 187 in the building. Bless up to you. Hope that you're having a great one. All right. So we're going to get into this. So let's just go ahead, because I've only got a few different examples to pull up that we can review today. And, depending on what's going on, with the show, depending on the support that comes in, we get 5 donations to the channel of any denomination. I will open up the panel. But if not, I'm just going to go over the things that I have prepared for y'all, saved for y'all, and we going to go ahead and talk about it. You know what I'm saying? Shouts out to the 18th letter. What's going on, sweetie? All right. So Saucy Santana has done what a lot of artists hope to do in today's music industry, right? He took a viral moment and he turned it into a hit. Now, I'm not 100% sure about the origins of the song Quiet on the Creek, but it was released roughly in July of this year and grew out of a viral social media moment involving Saucy Santana recalling a childhood fishing experience, and the phrase that quickly took on a life of its own, I guess, quiet on the creek. That was, I guess, a part of his experience fishing as a child, and he decided to make it into a song. Now, for me, the conversation surrounding Saucy Santana is bigger than just one song, because whether people want to admit it or not, the people that our children watch matter. And I get it, because when I didn't have kids, I wasn't as focused or hyper vigilant as I am now, of course. But at the same time, I had young nieces and nephews that I would be around from time to time. They ride in my car. I'd take them places. And I definitely was on the censorship tip when it came to what I exposed the little people around me. I know there's time and place for things. But at the same time, I understand that the people who do not have kids, they might have a different perspective on censoring themselves, and also kind of, not encouraging or perpetuating other activities that other adults could, could be having, throwing, participating in, whatever, right? We got Bronzebird in the building. I know. Hey, it seems to get worse. You know what I'm saying? As they crank out and platform new artists, it seems to get worse and worse. It does. Exactly. Because I know Cardi doesn't let her kids listen to her songs. That's how you know it's bullshit. But we're going to get back to the matter at hand. All right. What our children watch does matter. All right. And the phrases that they repeat, they matter. The images that they see, all that stuff matters. And the messages that are constantly being normalized in entertainment matter. Now, I just want to be clear before, somebody takes this conversation, tries to chop it up into clips and tries to run with the narrative that I hate, you know, members of the LGBTQ, transgender, anything like that. That is not what I am saying. This conversation is not about denying transgender people of their humanity. It's not about saying that they shouldn't exist or that they shouldn't be visible or that they shouldn't be allowed to live openly as they choose to as adults, right? Adults have the right to make decisions, however, about how they live their lives. But the question comes down to, what responsibility do adults in general, celebrities, parents, and society have when it comes to the influence they have over children in general? And again, I understand, and I've heard this, in so many different conversations. A lot of people just care about them and theirs. And I mean, to each their own. But my argument has always been, everybody else's is kind of like you like your own, because you never know. Like, these are kids that your kids are going to have to play around. They turn into adults that you have to deal with on many different capacities, and some of those capacities could be legal or vital, like medical care or whatever. It's important how the steps that we take and the things that we encourage and we downplay or discourage. That's important to the whole collective, because we set the tone for society. We say what's okay, and what's okay for for another person's family. Like, you wouldn't have it if it happened to yours. So I think that we need to keep those things in mind, because it's not just about other people's kids, or it's not just about your kids, because other people's kids become members of society. And it is important about what they're surrounded by and how they see themselves in, advertisements, and what celebrities they choose to emulate and things of that nature, right? Now, because there is a difference between teaching young people to respect other human beings and making children feel like they need to adopt adult conversations about sexuality and identity before they are even emotionally mature enough to understand them. All right. This is where my beef kind of comes in, because I don't think that young children should be learning about alternative sexual orientations and lifestyles. That's something that's usually introduced even in the school systems, roughly around 7th grade, something like that. And that's just to give general information and knowledge about how your body works. How your body works, how the human, how our species, how we reproduce and things like that. Because when you have knowledge of what you're doing, you're less likely to make such a detrimental mistake like early pregnancy and STDs and things like that. But I don't want to get too deep into it, but y'all know what I'm saying. I don't agree with the drag queens reading to the elementary children. I don't believe in any of that. I don't think it's necessary at all. It's way too early to be trying to introduce them to things like that when that's supposed to be adult activity and adult behavior. And the last time I checked, a child doesn't get into adults' business, right? So trying to, introduce them to, or people to this type of lifestyle and children into this lifestyle at an early age, to me, is very problematic. And that's where we kind of cross the line, right? A little bit, because it's not about disrespect. It's not about saying that you can't exist. Like I said earlier, it's just, again, time and place. And what makes a child mentally prepared to even accept a concept like that? All right. So, yeah, there it goes. It's coming out a little bit. But, And I'll show you guys exactly what I mean as we go along. I got some examples, mostly from Instagram, a couple from TikTok, and we gonna talk about it. Now, I don't, I could have opened it up, in terms of my whole stream with my usual pregame. Y'all know I like to pick a song and stuff. I could not find or think of a song that would be appropriate for this. I didn't want to play the Quiet on the Creek song itself, because to me, anytime that you add to the clicks and you add to the views, it's some form of support. Even if you're hate watching, even if you're watching it for other types of reasons, I don't like to add to the viewership, because the numbers, especially for these bigger companies who love to give young compromised people a whole bunch of money to keep on living degenerately, that's what they look for. They look for the views. So somebody will have to tell me about it. I might pull up the lyrics and read what he says, even though I really don't want to, but I might do that over actually clicking on the video or playing the song, because I don't like to surround myself with that type of with those types of messages. I get it. Like I said, it's time and place. Getting ready for the club music is different from any other place and time. So I totally get that. Let me see here. We got Chris Reed in the building. Shouts out to you. Hoping you're having a great evening or afternoon. Yeah, I mean, this is something that obviously, I wasn't thinking about. I didn't see Bert and Ernie as adults for some reason. They were puppets. So my child mind, I didn't equate them to being adults, but I mean, they shared a room, but I shared a room, with siblings at the time. So again, I personally didn't think of it at any type of way at the time. But of course, when you think back and you understand, especially how the entertainment business is, it's quite perverted in general. But let's get back to the topic. Let's get back to the topic. And really quick, I just want to take a pause for the cause. We got our first donation on the way to open up the panel. Like I said, we just need 4 more. If you guys want to come up and talk about this topic with me, you're more than happy to do so after we get 4 more donations. But I want to give a quick shout out. Give me 1 second. Go to my app here, because I know I saw it. All right, we got 18th letter. Thank you so much for your Cash App. I appreciate you, sweetie. Let's go ahead and celebrate you right now, and then we'll get back to the content.
We humble as a bumble in the middle of the jungle. We got problems and we fumble and we stumble, but we don't grumble. All we do is hustle, and you the reason that we on our way up. You the reason, 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 you the reason.
Appreciate nature. Okay, let me just update this banner real quick, and then we'll get back to the topic. So to open up the panel, just need 4 more donations. Let's see. There we go. And there we go. And there we go. All right, so let's go ahead and just, let me get the rest of this off my chest. I'll play some content for you guys. And of course, y'all know I'm going to do my commentary, give you my opinions and how I see, things as they're coming across, the screen along with you. So just ride with me, and we're going to get there. Shouts out to the Crown Prince. Pleasure to see you as well. Thanks for sliding through. Okay, so we're talking about how influence, is important, especially for, I think in general, but, especially for our children, for the young ones out there. All right, if you say things like, I believe children should be taught to respect, all people in general, have love for all people, including transgender. Most, that's the most, most people can understand that, but if you say that you also believe parents should have the right to decide when and how their children are introduced to these complicated types of conversations about gender identity and things like sexuality, suddenly you're being accused of being hateful. And I've seen this in different situations, even on Twitter, when it comes to, young people who are in like middle school, haven't even really went through puberty, and they're having questions about their gender and their identity and things like that. And even through the schools, they will do things to help affirm them, even without the parents' knowledge. And I just think that that is so wrong. These children are, these young people are not able to make, decisions. They're not able to drive, vote, buy alcohol, anything like that. But in some people's eyes, they think that children have the capacity to choose how they want to identify themselves, and especially with their sexuality. I just think that is that's a backwards thought. Because if they're incapable of doing certain things but capable of doing others, again, we got to start wondering or asking ourselves, like, are we afraid to have those hard conversations? Are we afraid to be accused of being hateful because we would rather something different for our kids or for society as a whole? But since when did asking questions, become hate? And I know there's some people who can identify with this out in the audience right now, like whether you be in school or whatever, if you had questions for your teacher, they'd see you as being disrespectful or talking out of turn or unruly or whatever. And it's just, I think that people who are wise enough or who have the thought capacity to think a little bit further than just the question, because I think that they're highly intelligent, actually, because it's the easier way just to take orders, right? Accept things for what they are, literally, and not think about what the person means 100% or what it might mean for you if you actually follow through with whatever's being told to you, right? But we know that, asking questions in society, that's not really what people want you to do. But I encourage people to do it more. And I also want to know, when did age appropriateness become discrimination? Again, I just think sometimes in a lot of these situations, it happens way too early. And I'm gonna show you guys what I mean in just a second. Let me pull something up real quick. Because again, I don't see the need for having, transgender or drag queens coming in to public libraries or to elementary school libraries and reading to kids. I don't see what the point is. The tolerance to what? This is not what is normally happening in the world. The percentage of people who actually participate or are classified to be in this type of, like, I guess demographic is what, like 3%, maybe not even that. So sometimes it's just more of asking, what are we prepping our kids for? You know what I mean? What are we getting them ready for? Tolerance is one thing. You see how just trying to get everybody used to the same skin color, how that went. That didn't go too well. You know what I'm saying? But now we want to try to say that orientation can be chosen and flipped, and everybody else around them should just accept it. Even the children should get used to it. I'm not really agreeing to that. So let me pull something up really quick. And this is something that I found on Instagram. Because again, I mean, if you're an adult, you can make your own decisions. But when it starts crossing into the lines, or you're starting to affect or become an influence to the people who are younger and shouldn't have any clue of who you are, or shouldn't even be privy to your type of lifestyle, or like what you do behind closed doors should not be known to the world. Like I've always thought that. I hate when people even kiss and tell, and you know what I'm saying, talk about how many people they done took down and this, that, and bro, like, be quiet. Like, shoot, that's not, you know what I'm saying, for everybody to know. But let me go ahead and pull something up, and this is, I'm pretty sure you guys have seen this already, but this is what I'm talking about in terms of influence, and when we're gonna take it from there. All right, what's going on, Keon?
Real quiet on the creek.
Hold on. Looks like this is I'm covering it up. Give me 1 second. All right. All right, so let's take this from the top.
And I used to go fishing when I was a little girl. You gotta be real quiet on the creek.
Quiet on the creek. Quiet on the creek. Quiet on the creek. You gotta be quiet. Fuck no! You got the kids doing this bullshit too?
And yeah, I'm glad homie came in through snapping. But y'all have to even listen to what was said in the very beginning. I'm gonna run it back one more time, because even like I said, the confusion is everywhere with this one. Because Saucy, he opens it up, or he starts it off when, I used to be told this when I was a little girl. Saucy has never been a little girl, but he's surrounded by little girls right now and talking to them like, we're going to redefine, you know what I'm saying? We're just going to rewrite, women history and what it means. And let me teach you how it's done, even though I've never been a little girl. See, this is the part that kind of just, it bothers me, because who are you? And mothers and whoever is the parents of these little girls, what is y'all doing? What is y'all doing? Like, are we also teaching the little ones, by any means necessary thou shalt go viral in order to feel important or special in this world? Like, what are we doing? Why would you let your child participate in something like that, like this? I don't care who it is. If this is what they're doing behind him, yes, him, then like, what else are you trying to teach your child, again, by participating in this skit, in this viral moment, in this whatever you want to call it? What are you teaching them? That you got to do whatever it takes to get attention? Parents got to start really and I can't make nobody want their kids, man. I can't make nobody want to be a parent, but once you are deemed one, once you make yourself one, by God, it is so. So the best thing that you can do is actually appreciate their presence. I don't know about y'all, man, but have you ever seen a kid grow up? Like, go from an infant stage to going to kindergarten to now they in junior high, now they graduating. Like, like that is a really beautiful process. And I get it. You know what I'm saying? Kids are inconvenient sometimes. They're expensive. They can get on your nerves and all of that. But it is your job to let them know that they are enough before they walk out your damn door. It is your job to help them with their self-esteem. Because the world is going to tell them all kinds of things. That they're wrong, that they're not confident, that they can't do something. Or in this case, you can do something. The world is always going to be telling them something that's contrary to what you believe as a parent and where you want your family to go. It's your job to instill this into the little people, dog. It shouldn't matter if they look like their damn daddy. You chose their daddy. Now they exist. Are you going to punish them? Or are you going to help build them up so they don't get caught into doing whatever for attention? These kids is young. And I get it. Some of them are a little bit older than others, but aren't any of them, if I could guess, none of them are older than the age of 14. And we got Saucy in the front talking about, this is what I was told when I was a little girl. And Saucy Santana was never a little girl. But let me continue with the video, okay? Because like I said, we talking about the importance of influence with these young people. Because when we get on panels and we talk to these adults who have crazy mindsets and they make crazy comments and make crazy jokes, you got to understand their influence when they was growing up probably was trash. And that's why as grown adults, they think that, you know what I mean, everything when it comes to an interaction, especially online with an adult, is just a bullying session. You know what I'm saying? You're supposed to be built for certain shit. You're not supposed to act like you got any common sense. You know what I mean? Like all that stuff is out the door. You're basically a big kid with a bank account. That's what a lot of adults are showing children. They're not showing the rites of passage. They're not showing the difference between having a young mind and a wise mind. They're not showing the difference. A lot of adults are actually stuck in their youth in one way or another. And just because, like I said, they have a way of making some decent money and being able to afford some stuff, it really gives them, certain people, license to just act a damn fool and not care about the people who are looking up to them or who they are influencing them, whether they want to or not. Because it's not really our choice in terms of who we influence. If you got one of those personalities or your presence is magnetic or it's dynamic, somebody is going to look up to you. Somebody is going to want to emulate or be something like, understand you, get to know you. They're going to be influenced by you. So it's not really up to you. Okay? It's not up to you if you want to be an influencer or not. Because if you have something that's a little bit different than somebody else has seen before, been exposed to, or has access to, you're going to stand out. Yes, though, I mean, there's certain people who doing that. I believe that's what they call misanthropes. Look it up. A person who has genuine and general hatred, a person who has general hatred for other people. That's not a general thing though. That's kind of specific, like a sociopath or something like that. Like a lot of people, I think in general, a lot of people have the capacity for empathy and sympathy and things like that. Now, do they find it valuable to exhibit? That's something different. But I don't think that in general people hate people, but there are a certain group of people who do have a general hatred for people, and they are called misanthropes.
And I used to go fishing when I was a little girl. You gotta be real quiet on the creek.
Quiet on the creek. Quiet on the creek. Quiet on the creek. You gotta be quiet. Fuck no! You got the kids doing this bullshit too? Y'all letting Dick Ross, Dickie Rose get away with this shit? This nigga wear a size 17. You see that nigga big ass feet? You got kids bouncing their chest? And y'all clapping for this nigga? No fucking way. If you condoning that behavior, get your bitch ass off my motherfucking page. What the fuck? This the era we in? Huh? This ain't no motherfucking joke. That shit is weird as fuck.
Yeah, so just you see how the gentleman felt, and yeah, I second that emotion right there. It is weird. Again, parents, we got to do better. You know what I'm saying? I got something else in terms of and it's not an excuse, but we'll get down, a little bit further into the conversation about kind of like the mentality or maybe the thought process of some of these people who think that it's okay to include children and young people in their activities. You know what I'm saying? Live how you want to live. But when you start, it was almost like a dance tutorial. I mean, you definitely did it for the gram, but you chose children to participate, and that's where it gets funny. How come it couldn't be a bunch of your peers? You know what I'm saying? Where, like I said, y'all are old enough and grown enough to make those decisions. And they could have been your background and your hype man and your backup. You know what I mean? But the kids, come on. Young people don't just listen to music anymore. They live with celebrities in their phones. They watch their TikToks. They repeat their catchphrases. They imitate their mannerisms, follow their live streams. You know what I mean? Like, these people have their own Instagram lives and all kinds of stuff where people can interact with them. Again, as an 80s baby, I didn't have that luxury. All we had were a bunch of magazines, you know what I'm saying, where we would flip through and just imagine and read their, whatever they were quoted by from the reporter. That's all we had, child. And if they came out with a special like on MTV or something, then we felt blessed. All right. But the kids nowadays, all they have to do is look in the palm of their hand. And that is sometimes they become emotionally connected to these people that they've never even met. A lot of people are susceptible to that, and especially young people. And that is influence. And whether an artist intends to influence children or not, once children are consuming their content, influence is happening. All right. Especially when you have a reality TV show, your whole family, like I bet little, Northwest doesn't want to be an influencer, but I mean, looking at who her family is, looking how much the reality shows and everything are just pumped out over and over again, she can't help but to be an influencer. But she's still trying to be a kid, I think, in her own way, even though her influences are not the best. And it's pretty indicative to the reason why she comes across to the public the way she does, which is way more mature than a lot of us were at her age, right? We got Lady Zyrax in the building. What's going on, love? Hope you and the family are doing good. Just talking about this influence, child. And basically, it's like a lot of this stuff that we can compartmentalize as adults as it just being music, or we can use it, to get ready or even work out and things like that. The implementations to our children is totally different. Like the way that they see it is totally different than how we're going to see it. And I think that it's dangerous, or it needs to be highlighted in terms of what is consumed by children. I remember, I can't remember when this was, but Sexy Red, like I think she was supposed to perform at a high school or something like that, but she showed up smelling like weed and the administration told her to leave. And she got mad. And it's just like, girl, you know what I'm saying? Like, you try to do something or encourage or try to hype the high school students up. The main goal, especially for administrators of a high school, is to make sure that they have a high graduation rate. And you coming in there smelling like weed, like it's already enough that we invited you to the party. Okay. But you coming in here, you know what I'm saying, smelling like a full grown, a full adult is nuts. You know what I'm saying? They couldn't expose to their students to that, which I applaud them for. It still was risky to have her, come to the school or whatever. But like I said, the moment that they smelled the herbal essence, they turned her away and said, maybe another day or maybe never, because we have to be, everything shouldn't be about trying to be a cool parent or, that auntie or that uncle that's, like I like hanging out with them because they like, they let us listen to whatever we want and act however we want. And no, like we shouldn't be doing that. And that these celebrities, they shouldn't be doing anything for $1 either, because they're the ones who's being platformed right now. Now, Saucy Santana himself has actually recently, I guess he's pushed back against internet narratives that his viral moment or his song was somehow a message directed at children. But like I said, we just looked at the clip. Okay, let me add it one more time.
You got to be real quiet on the creek.
Quiet on the creek. Quiet on the creek. Quiet on the creek.
Okay, so even if that wasn't your focus or your aim, you should have never did this then. Because there's even individuals like Storm Monroe who does drag and prefers to, present himself in that type of character, he still knows he's not far from reality. Okay, he knows he's a man. He agrees that, if you are a young man going through a transition to be a female, you shouldn't be competing in female sports. There is a difference between female and male sports, and athletes. Like, there's still a touch of reality. There's still certain things that this person would not participate in, right? Even though that's their lifestyle, they're not going to sit here and live in delusion. Now, if he had pushback, I'm not sure what it was. If you're not trying to aim or direct things at children, then you definitely shouldn't include them in your viral moments. You shouldn't want to do that, because it becomes hypocritical for the rest of us who have brains. All right, saying that the song was not about children and expressing concern about inappropriate interactions involving underage fans. But again, we have to think about, like I said, the tone that we're setting when we choose to do anything for a viral moment. Again, there's plenty of other gentlemen, like I said, your peers that you could have got together to be your backup, in terms of this song and in terms of just doing this moment. But for some reason, you choose to use the young ladies, and I'm just not understanding.
When I was a little girl, you gotta be real quiet on the creek.
All right, you see these girls, right? Like I said, if I had to guess, maybe the oldest one is 14, maybe. But if your aim is not to be inappropriate and you have younger fans and you care about them, you know what I mean, in terms of their safety and things like that, being underage, then why would this be the backdrop? Why wouldn't it be some of the girls, you know what I mean? I mean, the ones from your community, you know what I'm saying? Like, there's plenty of them who would probably, put on the hot pants and all kinds of stuff and be in the background, giving it what they got. We got Candy Cane in the building. What's up? Thanks for tuning in. Hope that you're having a great evening. But yeah, I just thought that it was hypocritical, like, because you can, that's when, words, yes, they sound great, right? But that's when you you need to start cross-referencing a person's actions. And when their actions and their words don't add up, then I suggest that you lean more on the actions. I'm sorry, because like, it's not many people who I know who would do things, who would participate in actions that they are genuinely uncomfortable with. I'll just say that. Well, you did start it off with saying that he was a little girl, and when is Saucy? When has he been a little girl? But he's talking to actual biological. I know you probably don't get it because you're a guy. But having, like, what I'm saying, somebody who just likes to, has never professed to be, a woman or anything like that. He just likes the fashion. He likes the nails. He likes the hair, and the makeup and all that stuff. But to push that or to say that to little girls, I just think that people put too much, they give kids too much credit, in terms of their emotional intelligence, in terms of their decision-making skills. Again, if that's the case, then 10-year-olds should be able to buy alcohol, drive cars, and there should be really no difference between children and adults. However, I believe differently. I know differently. So I don't put the responsibility on young people to know that, okay, this person's just having fun. You know what I'm saying? That's just how he decides to live his life. I don't put that much pressure on children. I don't give them that much credit. Kudos to you if you think that children are geniuses in general, but I know better, and I believe that you do too. All right, we got Poothie Williams, Saucy So T. I mean, again, live your life, you know what I'm saying? Living your truth, but I don't believe that, like I said, introducing it to kids is the wisest thing to do. and influence of what, what these kids are seeing constantly, it does matter. It does matter. And it shouldn't matter if you have children personally or not. You were once a child, and I don't know how you would feel or how confused you might have been, you know what I'm saying, just being around certain things. So I just think that kids should be focused on schoolwork, learning how to be functional members of society, meaning, cleaning up after yourself, being responsible for other people, meaning like your siblings, a pet, household chores, things like that. You need to have some type of faith or religious system. So I believe that most kids need to have, some type of background when it comes to that. And just, you haven't even made it through puberty yet. And people are already trying to push sex down your throat. Like that's too much. That's too much. So let's get back to this content. I got a few other things that I wanted to show. All right. Now, like I said, we shouldn't just make up intentions that someone hasn't expressed. Like I said, I'm not saying that, Saucy Santana is trying to, teach young boys and girls about this certain situation. I just wouldn't have included them in the video, so I don't want to come up with different intentions, I'm saying, that he might have. But we can still have a broader conversation about what happens when adult entertainers become cultural role models for young audiences. Because every artist has their right to create their own things. Like even in the 80s, like we got used to Michael Jackson's pelvic thrusts, and I didn't think much of it. We seen Prince. We saw Prince with his androgyny, and we accepted him just the way that he was. But he was they're both doing adult things. You know what I mean? Their videos, especially Prince, was hypersexual and had, lots of women and things like that. So I ain't really see, him as being anything but a little weird for wanting to do his hair like that and wear eyeliner and things like that. But, we were kind of still exposed to certain things, right? So we're not saying that like artists can't create things, but parents also have the right to ask, what is my child watching? And who is shaping my child's understanding of the world? I believe that is a parent's job, and I get it. There's a lot of parents who, they don't have enough time and money to dedicate both to their kids. That's one of the hardest things, of course, the ideal situation is to have a 2-parent household, because one person can be that nurturer and that person who's always, there in case you forgot something. They bring it up to the school. They always come into your school activities and helping to plan your birthday parties and things like that. But when you got one parent who has to work and provide all those things, that's when the village, is really important, having a support system, having people that you can trust and who are going to be good influences on your children, be around your children, right? Sometimes parents, they just, they use what's convenient, whether it be an older sibling or, an older relative, somebody who is just anybody who's older, right? But not necessarily taking into consideration their own personal character and what type of influence that they would be on the child, right? So even sometimes you might, your favorite cousin might have babysat you anytime that your mom had to work or whatever, but you knew that cousin, he was one of your favorite cousins because he let you get away with murder. You know what I'm saying? He'll let you take a swig out the bottle every once in a while. He'll take you to areas of town that he knew that your mama didn't want you to be in, but he was the one that was convenient to watch you, right? So time after time you got sent there because your mama needed somebody to watch you. But the influence wasn't the best. it's the same type of thing. So when we think about these kids, being surrounded and saturated with social media and, what I'm saying, comparison culture, and constantly seeing all these, like, even young, content influence, social media influencers, these people be, some of these kids be young. And your kids, living with less than or whatever, they sitting in their room and they fantasizing, they're comparing their lives to other people's. It don't matter how good of a parent you are sometimes. If a child feels like I said, if they have access to see all the things that they could have, but for some reason they don't know how to really take that. They don't know how to really take that. But the influence, knowing what your kid is watching, putting a cap or a limit on the amount of screen time that they have, actually tapping into their text messages and things like that. Yes, I believe in all of that. Like, shoot, if you are a child and you live underneath my roof, you have no privacy. Okay? You do to a certain extent, but not when it comes to that social media stuff, because there's too many rabbit holes that kids can go down, you know what I mean, in terms of just being able to see stuff and learn about stuff, and like I said, not knowing how to understand stuff. Like, it's deeper than what y'all think. And I want to pull up something really quick, because this is something that I did remember Saucy Santana saying. This was I believe the first year that they had him on Love and Hip Hop. So I believe that was the Miami season, when they opened up and did Love and Hip Hop Miami, and they had Saucy on there. I do remember this clip. I had saved it a while ago, and I recently found it. So I did want to play that, because like I said, influence is more than what people really put on put importance on. Yes, man, that nigga had his chaps on, ass cheeks out, like everything. We were just like, oh, that's just Prince. But Prince always had some beautiful women around him. So like I said, I didn't think nothing about it, you know what I'm saying? Versus a gentleman who refers to himself, like I said, when I was a little girl, this is what they used to tell me. And he has a full beard, makeup, nails, BBL, everything. Okay, I'm not trying to get on him. Let me take this out of the studio and let me pull this up, because like I said, it's important to know what your child is watching and who is shaping the understanding of that child's world. Yeah, it is quiet on the panel at the moment. We got 4 more donations to go, because y'all are not about to stress me out for the free 99. We got 1 down. Appreciate your 18th letter. We get 4 more donations. I will open up the panel, but other than that, I always got something to talk about. I know how to run my mouth. I know. I'm trying to tell you, I'm mad that I missed him when he was in Vegas, child. I remember when the whole symbol was on the side of the hotel and everything. He had his residency there. Okay, let me pull this up. We got Trey Wilson in the building, popping in on the vertical side. What's going on? Nothing much. Hope that you're having a great evening. Just going over some, just having a conversation about influence and the power of it, whether you be a child, well, especially if you're a child, but even as an adult, you know what I'm saying? Like, we got to be careful what we expose ourselves to, or what we allow, us to become fans of or surround ourselves with. Because I don't know what the hell going on, but this is definitely a trend. But let me pull something up that I found. This was a while ago. Where is it? I know I got it. Give me a second. Because I know I checked all this before I started the show. Okay, give me a second, you guys. All right, I'm gonna pull this up and I'm gonna have this play in the meantime. While I get the other video downloaded, because I could have swore I did, but I guess not. All right, let me get this pulled up.
Okay, so listen. I did not know that like Quiet on the Creek was like an actual creek. I'm not gonna begin to act like I understand all the phrases, you know, that the black gays come up with, you know, because they be eating down with the phrases. But it was a song. And, oh, like, be quiet, like, you know, hold it down. Now there's an actual creek. Like, I'm chilling. I wake up. I open my phone, and this image is blasted everywhere. Like, I've seen this 3-4 times that I'm scrolling, okay? And I'm, like, blown away because, like, okay, first of all, DL guys are so backwards to me. I am so sorry. They are so backwards to me because you could just be gay. Like, no, like, you know, you could just be gay. But, okay, you're scared. You just want to, you know, hide it or whatever. First of all, if it was my man in this video, I would know who he is. If it was my man with a ski mask on and some boxers, I would know who he is, okay? And then it would be loud on the creek. It would be loud on the creek. And ladies, tell me you would know if that was your man in the comments, because I would know. There's no and I'm not even gonna lie to you. If I was a DL man, this party looks lit. What do you mean? Like, why are we even doing this? Like, black people always come up with some wild type of like events to make the shit look cool, but you guys are doing the most. Why are you guys doing this? Like, why do you guys have to have a DL event? Why can't you guys just be on the creek? No, you guys are on the creek with ski mask, like shiesties, because you're DL. This video is just a strikeout conversation. No hate speech. Close curtains.
Who said I need permission?
I'm sorry, that shit was kind of funny. Yeah, like, why can't you just yeah, I don't think I'll ever understand the DL situation either. I'm trying to find this. I'm really upset that it didn't save, because I know I had it downloaded. I could have swore I did. Let me try to find this again, because again, like, I really do think that, you know, influence is everything. As kids, we need something to look at as a type of representative or model, especially for certain behaviors. Even when it comes to, like, you know, the way that a woman walks or something, she might emulate the way that, you know, her mom or her grandma or whoever, you know what I'm saying, whoever she was watching probably helped contribute to the way that she walks. You know what I'm saying? Like, influence is a big thing. And a lot of us, they think, you know, they would say, oh, like, no, I got here by myself. You know what I mean? I got it out the mud. Somebody, you emulating somebody's behaviors. Let's think about the street dude, you know, or somebody who joins a gang. Those people, they all kind of have the same type of mannerisms and stuff like that. Of course, you're still going to be a person, you know what I'm saying, your own person, but depending on what group or whatever, you know, set you claim or what. Let me stop, because I don't speak that. But you know what I'm saying, depending on who you choose to be affiliated with, like, they gonna influence you, man. Oh my goodness, where did I put this? This is really making me mad. All right, give me 1 second. I do see this as well. Oh, okay. Y'all just ride with me here for a second. I really don't know how this happened. Let me see here. All right, I'm gonna have to try to see if I can find it before the end of the show. Gosh, dog it, gosh, dag it, I swear. But it basically was a video of Saucy and his which one is that? No, I'm talking about Saucy Santana. And no, dude, he might look like a lady, but no, sir. No, sir. I was trying to find the video of Saucy and his mom sitting, and they were talking about like basically like his whole lifestyle and stuff like that, because she felt bad. You know what I'm saying? Like she wanted to sit down and eat a meal, have a meal with him. They're close, in terms of their relationship. They're on good speaking terms and all that good stuff. But the mom, she was just like, she felt bad, you know what I'm saying? Because of just basically not how he turned out, but kind of how he turned out. And he kind of let her know that, I guess like during the times where she had to work and, to take care of him and stuff like that, the person that she left him with, was not the most trustworthy person. And that's why I just be wondering. Ooh, there it is. There it is. Okay, great. Now I don't have to describe it no more. We got Ola in the building. Ola, Ola, Ola. Hold on. Don't take this the wrong way. Parents sometimes let their kids do what they want in return, that they don't put them in a nursing home when they get old. I don't know. I mean, to be completely honest, a lot of them kids that was born during the Great Depression, and their parents couldn't really provide much for them at all. Like they always took care of their parents. Like sometimes you understand that even though like your parents, they might have been a little rough, what I'm saying, with you or whatever, it was because of circumstances. And when you get older, you have a different appreciation for them. And when you see how weak other motherfuckers are around you, depending on how strong and self-sufficient you are and how much you've been able to accomplish, you actually appreciate them for being hard or tough on you. So let me get this pulled up, because I did find it. Let me see here. I do have it. Man, it just went away again, bro. Okay, I have it saved some type of other way. Give me 1 second. This really bothers me, because I just saw it. Give me a second, y'all. I'm still here. Let me type it in, because I think I saw it. Let me see. Graham. Jesus. And now it's gone again. I'm mad at myself, but it's okay, because I should have just clicked on it when I saw it. And now I can't remember how to get back to it. All right. No worries. Let me pull something else up. I know how to get it, huh? All right. Give me a second. I see. Okay, I see it here. Let me rename it. Let me see what this shit is. I got it. Give me a second. Damn it. Okay, I'm sorry, y'all. I thought I found it. It got saved underneath the wrong name, so that means it got downloaded the wrong way. Okay, no worries. Let me get this. Let me find what else I got real quick. All right, this is something else that's been kind of going viral. And before I do that, let me take another pause for the cause. We are 2 donations. Hold on just 1 second. Oh, I'm tripping. 3 donations away. If y'all want to open up the panel and have this conversation, come and tell me what you think about influence, Quiet on the Creek, Saucy Santana, all those good things. We just need 3 more donations, baby. Yeah, Candy Cane come through with the Cash App. Appreciate you, love. Let's go ahead and celebrate you. We'll get back to the show.
We humble as a bumble in the middle of the jungle. We got problems and we fumble and we stumble, but we don't grumble. All we do is hustle, and you the reason that we on our way up. You the reason, 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 you the reason.
All right, y'all. All right, y'all. Just 3 more donations. Like I said, if y'all want to open up the panel, any denomination that you choose, appreciate y'all in advance. Now, I know this is something else that was going viral not too long ago. Is another thing that I've had saved in my archives, but y'all tell me what you think about this. I thought that this was and that's why I just don't understand what's going on in the world today. Period. I mean, are men and women just that tired of each other? Where it's just like anything will do, and what normally makes sense, what's up is down, and what's right is wrong. I don't be understanding. But let me get this pulled up real quick. Y'all tell me if you've seen this or not. I'm pretty sure you have. But I had it saved, so I'm finna use it, especially since I can't find the other one.
Which BLK woman is borderline rainbow. What do you find feminine about a strong, independent woman that weighs more than you who cosplays a drag queen? She don't even like being her natural self. Like, what are you into in there? Everything that I just named is everything but fucking feminine, man. If anything, at best, is pseudo-feminine. If anything, is pseudo-femininity. It's the fakest form of femininity ever. They're not even tapped into their natural selves where they can exemplify who they were naturally born to be. This is insane, man. This is so outside of nature, and we have normalized it. But I'm the crazy one.
Lord have mercy. We're going to get back to that in just a second. I'm going to run it back because he said a whole lot of jibber jabber. Like, for real. I almost got lost in trying to translate what he was saying halfway through his little rant or whatever. But let me answer this question. Got Ola says, what is Quiet on the Creek? Yes, it is a song written by Saucy Santana. If you've never heard of Saucy Santana, he is a hip-hop artist based out of Miami that likes to present himself as a woman. Let me get this pulled up really quick.
Hey. What's up? My bad. I didn't mean to interrupt. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, brother.
Okay. You have a good time, my bad. Hit me after.
Okay, can you send me Apple Pay?
Yeah, I got you. You want 10,000? I got you.
Yeah, okay, thank you. I'm so excited. Thank you. Okay.
All right, so I know that they would love to say, oh, well, it was, his single mama who made him like this and this, that, and the third. But we just heard a whole man on his phone asking if, is it okay if I send your $10,000 through Apple Pay? So as many people, who, might have been, quote unquote, responsible for the outcome, there's somebody out there, there's plenty of people out there who like it. You know what I'm saying? Hold on, let me play that back. That's
what I'm saying. I'm at lip service. You got to be real quiet on the creek.
What's up? My bad. I didn't mean to interrupt. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, brother.
Okay. You have a good time, my bad. Hit me after.
Okay, can you send me Apple Pay?
Yeah, I got you. You want 10,000? I got you.
Yeah, okay, thank you. I'm so excited. Thank you. Okay. I love the shit. That's my brother.
What's up?
That's what I'm saying. I'm at lip service. You got to be real quiet on the creek.
What's up? My bad. I didn't mean to interrupt. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, brother.
Okay. You
Okay, can you send me Apple Pay?
Yeah, I got you. You want 10,000? I got you.
Yeah, okay, thank you.
Yeah. And calling them brothers and all this other shit. I just, again, it almost seems like, you know what I'm saying? Some men definitely appreciate and like the company of other men. You know what I'm saying? Like the women, that's just the front, you know, that's just like for the public eye type of situation. Because they don't all look like Saucy. You know what I'm saying? They don't all look like him. There wouldn't be such thing as a DL man if they all were obvious with the wigs and nails and hair. But they do come in different forms. And sorry, that's who he is. Let me put this one back on the screen. Y'all tell me what you think about, you know, black men who find the average black woman. You know, if you find the average black woman attractive, you borderline suspect. Y'all tell me how you feel about this. I'm gonna try to listen to what he said again, because again, he just said a whole bunch of shit that he thought sounded intelligent, but it was all confusing to me. So let me just try one more time to understand what homeboy said.
Average BOK woman is borderline rainbow. What do you find feminine about a strong, independent woman that weighs more than you who cosplays a drag queen? She don't even like being her natural self. Like, what are you into in there? Everything that I just named is everything but fucking feminine, man. If anything, at best, is pseudo-feminine. If anything, is pseudo-femininity. It's the fakest form of femininity ever. They're not even tapped into their natural selves.
I know he's probably referring to the natural hair and wearing no makeup and things like that. But when you look at their Instagram likes list, okay, every picture is going to have a booty out. It's going to be airbrush skin. It's going to be even the more natural makeup beat, okay? It's going to be the long extensions. It's going to be something. They're always going to sit there and perpetuate and like something that they claim they don't want in their lives. And again, that's why I even said in the beginning, I could have played the Quiet on the Creek song, but I didn't want to add to the likes. I didn't want to add to the views, because y'all don't understand that's how it works. You know what I'm saying? All you have to do is be a mediocre rapper, a mediocre content creator, a mediocre, you know, model or whatever. But if you got those numbers, the bigger companies are going to, you know what I'm saying, they're going to have a better chance of investing in you. And I'm not down for adding to the numbers, because people who add to the numbers, whether it be out of curiosity or whatever, you help make these people famous. You help to put these types of thought processes and everything else out there. So no, I'm good on Saucy. I'll take the word for it. You know what I'm saying? Like I said, at the most, I will probably read the lyrics. But if you think about it, Quiet on the Creek, I mean, going fishing is a quote unquote more manly type of activity. And yes, you usually are quiet, but they're saying be quiet for other reasons, goddamn. You know what I'm saying? And then we had the whole, hold on, what was this? It was a whole event for DL men called Quiet on the Motherfucking Creek. So it's like a code word, I suppose. Yeah, so look at all these men in ski masks and poo shiesties with their boxers in smaller bathing suit trunks on. Quiet on the Creek, DL Pride 2026. All right. So I'm not saying, and this is, you know, what they mean by quiet on the motherfucking creek, but I'd say that's what they mean. Okay. So if you got an individual like Saucy who made a whole song about it, and then you see him about to get, you know, Apple paid $10,000 from his good brother you can only imagine the type of dynamics that are happening with that statement. Okay. Ooh, these chips are good. All right. Let me put this back up there.
They can exemplify who they were naturally born to be. This is insane, man. This is so outside of nature, and we have normalized it. But I'm the crazy one.
This whole video, I was waiting for him to say that this was a joke. I thought at some point when he was talking, he was gonna cut out and say, this was a video that I seen somebody post. But he really said that. He really feels that. And my question to you, brother, because I'm not gonna sit here and try to tear you down. What is it about black women that gives you such a strong opinion like this? Was there one that you came across that made you feel like less than a man? And I'm not even saying that as a joke. I'm genuinely asking. Would you rather a weak black woman that has nothing going for herself so you could belittle her and start to control her? I'm just trying to wrap my head around why you would make such a statement like this. As a black man, the bare minimum from us is to protect our black women. The bare minimum. So what's the reasoning for this? Respectfully, of course. No.
Yeah, so I definitely want to I would definitely want to talk about that one, because that's a like I said, a little viral clip that's been going around, because I guess we're so non-feminine, they said, but in between, you know, the hair, the makeup, the you know, the nails and all that stuff. But I mean, when have black women ever not gave a damn about what they look like? When have they never worn wigs, pressed their hair out, had extensions, but at the same time they were strong because they had to be? Like, I'm confused. Like, that's a crazy clip. But let me wow, let me thank 18th letter for the double up. He's like he wants to open up this panel, y'all. We only need 2 more donations of any denomination. Don't let him do all the work for you, man. Y'all go ahead and put yours in so I can open up this panel. We can talk about it. Appreciate you, the 18th letter. Let's go ahead and celebrate, baby.
We humble as a bumble in the middle of the jungle. We got problems and we fumble and we stumble, but we don't grumble. All we do is hustle, and you the reason that we on our way up. You the reason, 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 you the reason.
Wrong button. Damn, my trigger finger is ready to go. My bad, yo. Wrong button, but appreciate you, 18th. All right, so we only need 2 more donations to go. If anybody wants to go ahead, any denomination, like I said, any number, you know what I'm saying? But right now, looks like 18th is holding it down with the sponsorship for the day, for the show. Appreciate you, Candy Cane, for throwing some in as well. So if you guys want to talk about it, y'all want to come up here and join me, we just need 2 more. All right. Let me see what else I got here so we can review. In the meantime, though, let me just some of the other thoughts that I wanted to get off my chest, right? Yeah, so it's a bunch of you know, like I said, we can try to say it one way or the other way. I'm not sure how people got there. I'm gonna really look for that other video that came from Love and Hip Hop, because again, I think it's a great way of tying in the whole fact that influence does matter, because Saucy was telling the story, or telling his mom, having a conversation with his mom to basically let him know that, you know what I'm saying, like the person who was his babysitter, who, you know, was responsible for, you know, making sure he was safe and he was good while his mom was working to take care of him. He wasn't the best, you know what I mean? Like, he introduced him to things that ended up making it very confusing for him, you know what I mean, in a sexual orientation wise, you know, in that type of sense, you know. So even when we talk about, and I'm only speculating because I don't know, you know, there's been some research about, you know, if it's something, you know, if that's a way that you're just born, or whatever, whatever the case might be. But I don't know if it's necessarily that. Again, I think about all the the young people who get labeled as being fast, you know what I mean? And I always feel so bad for them, to be completely honest, because who taught you, you know what I mean, about certain situations, about certain acts or certain actions? Why are you hypersexual so early? Did somebody, like, people they're not just born that way. They're introduced to some stuff at an early age, and I stand by that shit. But when it comes to 100%, when it comes to sexual orientation, if they're born that way, I don't think so. I don't think so. It comes down still to influence at the end of the day. And the type of influence that some people had when they was younger wasn't the safest. It wasn't the most responsible. And it was too mature too soon. And that's just my opinion. And I feel for anybody who has had to go through that. And I pray that they just, they get the help that they need so things can make sense for them again, Let me see here. I'm still looking for this stuff, man. Like, I'm so mad at myself. I try to be fancy and download it. Maybe it's this one. I got all these folders. I think it might be this one. Let me second, y'all. Let me see what y'all saying. Yeah, that happens when parents are too busy doing phone stuff. Yeah, exactly. I always had a vacation Bible school, you know what I'm saying? You're going to stay with your boring ass, predictable grandparents who, bedtime is at 8:30, 9 o'clock type shit. Like, you got to have supervision, man. What's up, H&M? A water ice. That sounds hilarious. A water ice. Come on. This is really making me mad, y'all. And I'm mad at myself right now. Because that was a good clip. I'm still looking, y'all. What else? Yeah, I mean, I wonder how many people are actually having conversations with their kids, you know what I'm saying? Because we would like to call ourselves progressive in 2026. A lot of parents, they brag that they don't spank their children and this, that, and the third. But are y'all educating them and having those tough conversations when it's, you know what I'm saying, so your kids will know what's what before somebody can teach or show them something? I hope so. If people are, to the point where, they know that it's a better way of getting their point across or showing some type of discipline besides whooping their kids' ass, I hope that they know that they can talk to their kids about, the touch me nots, and teach them about their body, and what I'm saying, teach them to snitch if anybody even tries to violate. You feel me? Teach them to snitch when a babysitter acts inappropriate. I hope that you guys are having those conversations as well, man. That's a lot for a kid to deal with on their own. And that's not when you should get upset with them, you know what I'm saying, or invalidate them or whatever. Because I get it. A lot of people don't want to talk about that shit. But just like Rooster just said, man, when adults want to be more into their own adult interaction, their own adult thing, more than being a parent and more than being a supervisor, like you're gonna have to take them L's, man. If you made a mistake and you wasn't as, on top of your game as you should have been, and something happens, it's your job to make sure that child is right. Make sure they're good. Make sure they find a somebody they can talk about if they need to talk to a therapist or whatever. That's not the time to be getting mad. It's definitely not the time to be getting mad. But it's a lot of people, when something, like I said, happens a little too early in a sexual way, a lot of parents, they get mad at their children and they wonder why their kids don't want to tell them shit. It don't work that way. Needless to say. Wow, this really pisses me off. I think it's down here, y'all. I keep saying that, but I swear this time. Ooh. Oh, I found it. Thank you for your patience, y'all. Thank you for your patience. Okay, I'm gonna go ahead and pull this up. And this is, like I said, this is a conversation that Saucy Santana and his mom was having on Love and Hip Hop, I believe on the first season for them, when his character was introduced. And just kind of like giving his, opinion, and just telling her how she felt about how he felt about his childhood and things like that, and the things that happened to him. So let me get this pulled up, because I knew. I'm glad I kept on looking, you know what I'm saying? Because I did find it. Let me get this pulled up before I lose it again. Okay. All right, so this is entitled "Saucy Santana and His Mother Talk About His Childhood Trauma." Says he holds no grudges. Let me make sure this is showing up okay. Let me make it full screen. Since we took this long to find it, I want to make sure that y'all can see it. All right.
Some of the abusers admitted their part in the entire ordeal, but the one predator blamed my son. Like a 9-year-old would want to be violated by an older cousin in that kind of way. I truly believe this situation opened the door to change my son's sexuality.
It's deep.
But getting of the innocent stolen.
Families don't talk about it. I think that families sweep it under the rug.
Do you still know the person? Are they still like the family member?
I'm past it. Like, I don't have no grudges. It could be because I grew up in it. It could be because I was groomed or manipulated.
So you kept doing it after the situation happened?
Yeah, this was
like
was
9 years
from
old, so
9 to 16.
Yeah.
Damn.
Today, I don't have no.
Whew. All right, so not only this happened from the ages of 9 to 16, this was a cousin that did this to him. A cousin that they probably still, is probably still walking around free, and, they might actually see or encounter from time to time. Ooh, the pathology, I swear, sometimes the Black families be killing me, man. Like, you be killing me. Like, there's more than just the mamas who make these boys, effeminate and this, that, and the third. How about the male family members that take advantage of their young male cousins? Like, are you sure that's not a part of the conversion process? Like, we got to think about this all the way around the board. You know what I mean? And we have to think about the influence, period. I get it. Like I said, there's some people who just, that their schedules and everything, they don't have the time and they don't have the money at the same time. They're trying to, work. They're trying to get the money so they can have some time, take them on vacation, this, that, and the third. You got to trust them with somebody. right? And we always want to think that we can trust our family members, but even when it comes to them, we got to start thinking a little bit, we got to start thinking a little bit more instead of what's convenient for us. Or take them, if we need to go to the store, we need to go somewhere, to the bank or whatever. It's okay. Let your kids go with you and teach them how to conduct themselves in public. Teach them how to calm their ass down. You know what I mean? We're going somewhere professional. We're going somewhere quiet. We're going to, you know what I'm saying? Like, you don't always have to leave them with somebody just to handle your business as an adult. My kids used to go damn near everywhere with me. And it wasn't that big of a deal. I mean, yeah, they, sat in car seats and stuff like that. But shoot, you get you a nice double stroller, whatever, you make that shit happen. You take them with you. Nobody watched my kids for real until they were old enough to go to preschool. Because I had to go back to work at that time. You know what I'm saying? Didn't work for about, until they're about 3 or 4 years old. But shoot, gotta, still gotta make sure that Christmas and everything else was doing right. So it's like, yeah, when they were ready to go to preschool, but that's after, like I said, I had those conversations with them. They were old enough to talk to me in case something happened. They had, they had the knowledge. They knew, what I'm saying? Like, I can talk to mom about anything type shit. Or, if this happens or what, if somebody shouldn't be doing this and somebody shouldn't be, I'll let them know all of that stuff. And sometimes it does come at a sacrifice, I took years off, in terms of working just to make sure that they were, we had them covered. If I wasn't watching them, then their dad was watching them, but when we both had to go back to work, then it's just like, okay, we got to put you in preschool, but at least you know how to communicate if something does happen. And a lot of people don't want to take those. They don't want to take those types of hits. They don't want to make those types of sacrifices, but I ain't give a damn, because I swear to God, if somebody, what with mine? Oh, I'm already fanatical about, like, what I'm saying, my nieces and nephew and stuff like that. But nah, yeah, if I heard anything like that, it would be, it wouldn't be good. I'm gonna just say that to not incriminate myself. But let's continue on with the clip, and then I'll see what you guys were saying in the chat. Give me 1 second. Okay, let's play it.
No hard feelings. Only thing was, everybody was just like, oh, he lying. I'm like, I ain't lying. I didn't want to tell. I didn't tell. I trusted one of my cousins, and he told everybody. And that's how it came out. It came to the point where family had to choose sides. Hey, you gonna be on that side that he on, or you gonna stand up for what's right. I felt betrayed when everything hit the fan, because it was something that a cousin who I confided in, he went and told everybody. And so that's how my mom and my other family found out. I don't think I was necessarily ready at that age to speak on it. So it was just more betrayal than anything when I was a child. I didn't really understand the champion part of it. But now I am glad that my cousin did that.
Never talked about none of this. How do you move forward knowing that this happened to you and thinking in your head, well, if this wouldn't happen to me, would I be gay? Would I be straight? Did that situation make me want to experience it more? Mm-hmm. Like, do I like it?
Today, I don't have no hard feelings. Only thing was, everybody.
I'm sorry, it's up.
People be groomed and manipulated, and you start from a kid and you get older and you think it's normal. I'm almost 15, 16, still messing with my cousin. Like it's normal. That's not normal. We know that we cousins, but that's you. I'm still in the closet. I'm still a kid still. Like, you do what I know. Children are easier to manipulate. Children are not grown. Their mind is not fully developed. When you're a kid, you're easily influenced. That's why older men prey on younger girls, younger boys. It was hard for me. Me personally, I can't blame them 100% for my sexuality, because I do remember as a kid messing with other boys, playing house.
But you thought that it would be your life already at 5 or 6 years old, that you would?
I'm not thinking as far as my life, but I don't know. I haven't really grasped what that is. I think my feelings with men doesn't have nothing to do.
I'm sorry, my
child. Listen, listen. I get it. You know, it sounded like towards the end he was going to say he doesn't want to, you know, blame that on the way that he is. Because I mean, after a while or at a certain point, I'm pretty sure he accepted who he is. You know what I mean? So once you accept who you are, like trying to look back and be like, you know, but I really shouldn't accept this shit because at my heart of hearts, I feel like this wouldn't have happened to me. Or I wouldn't be like this if this wouldn't have, you know, that wouldn't have never happened. Like, I don't know. I think it was just very eye opening, especially coming from him. Fast forward to today, you know, and it's you know, dancing with the little girls in the background and stuff like that. I don't know. I don't know. Let me catch up with you guys real quick in the chat. But I knew I was gonna find that, man, because it aged too well. Let me see here. All right. Give me a second. All right, I'm gonna go ahead and drop the link. Seems like 18th he's a sponsor of the show today. Y'all gonna make him do all the work by himself. We only one away, but it's all good. I'll go ahead and drop the link, bro. Let me see here. All right. Okay, so if you have something on the topic, like I said, just in terms of this is a conversation about just influence, period. You know what I mean? Because like I said, it seems like it was more of an absence, even though, you know, single parents, you know, they get the rough end or the short end of the stick when it comes to any type of scrutiny and stuff like that. But it's like, you know, when we actually hear from somebody and the family members who were trusted to watch him and help be the village, you know, actually was some of the people who were violating, like, you know what I mean? I don't think that this isn't a situation about whose fault is it type of situation. Like, you know, it's people do the best that they can with what they have. And I mean, if this would have happened at a daycare facility or whatever, like, you know what I mean? You can't tell, or you can't predict how a young person is going to interpret what they're going through. You can't interpret that. Give me 1 second, y'all. Bring Rakim up to the stage. What's going on?
What's up, LA? How you doing?
I'm doing good. Mike sounds good.
That's good to hear.
Yeah.
But this situation with Saucy Santana, I don't know about you, man. I don't feel like it's nearly enough outrage as it should be.
No, I don't either. It just seems like I said, it keep ramping up in a certain, you know, sense or whatever. Like, there's so many different, like, I mean, I was showing Candy the other day. There was something called like a red dress run that happened in New Orleans not too long ago. And I was trying to figure out, you know, exactly like what was the background, because the picture that I saw on Instagram was a bunch of millennial young black men in a myriad or a variety of different dresses and skirts and gowns and all kinds of stuff. And it's just like, okay, it's a charity event. You're supposed to do a marathon wearing a red dress, but why does it mean that the guys have to like, you know what I'm saying? Like, the dudes was like in ruffles, and I mean, I have the picture. I don't really want to put it up here, but I can if you want to see it. But it just seems like this type of stuff is just becoming a little bit more like a lot more prevalent than.
It's not becoming a lot more prevalent. It's being pushed. A lot of this is being pushed, and it's leading a lot of these boys to be confused. A lot of this stuff is being pushed. When we was growing up, none of this existed. Not like that. And you always had rainbow people. But rainbow people stayed around other rainbow folks. None of this stuff meant boys was boys and girls was girls. Not saying you didn't have situations that was Saucy Santana was talking about a little bit earlier, but it's been an agenda is being pushed, and you have a lot of people that's going right along with it. And the funny thing is, if it was the reverse side, you had a man talking like this, and I'm not trying to gender bang, but I got to keep it real. You had a man talking like this about young girls and being quiet on the creep and all of that. It'd be so much outrage within our community. Well, what's left of it? Because I'm starting to see, and I think black people really don't want to check other black folks, man. I think it's gotten to the point where we don't want to check people equally because we're afraid of the fight that we'll have to endure with fighting other black folks. So we just go along with it until it gets to the point where we can't ignore it no longer.
I mean, I definitely agree with some of the things that you're saying, because I mentioned the same things. It's like everybody's more, if you, and I get it because like I said, we're all human, you know what I'm saying? But like when we didn't have kids, and I know you don't have kids now, you know what I'm saying? But there is a difference sometimes of how people even like censor themselves, like when they're young and when they don't have kids and stuff like that, they really don't care. Versus when they have kids and all these other issues become important to them, right? And I get it to a certain degree because now it's something that you have to actually deal with 100%. A lot of people kind of fall underneath that. If they didn't have, like, I always had nieces or nephews or something like that. So if I took them somewhere, in the car, like, I was careful about what music I played. You know what I mean? Like stuff like that. There's some people who don't care, because that ain't my damn kid. And we do have a lot of that in our community, unfortunately. But we don't see other people's kids as being a part of our community or part of just our, extended family.
And that's why, oh, I'm sorry. I was just going to say, that's why it's going to continue to deteriorate. So when people get to talking about community, what community? Because in a community, it's hierarchies, it's certain things that's put in place to prevent things like this from happening. When people get a little bit, it's I don't even know. I'm at a loss for words. Do you think that it's really? I mean, because okay, think about it. Because when you're talking, you say community, right? We're like technically, if we try to imagine what things were like before we got here to the Americas, or before this system was forced upon us, right? Would you say that Black people or indigenous people were still tribal people? When you say indigenous, what people are you talking about? I hope you're talking about native people.
Huh?
You talking about native people, like native?
Yeah.
Like Native Americans?
Yeah, either that or like if you want to talk about Africa or whatever, they still were tribes, right? They weren't all one, because even a theory, when it comes to Africa, some people like to say, oh, well, Black people sold their own folks into slavery, this, that, and the third. But from my perspective, that's a tribal thing. Like it wasn't.
It was definitely a tribal, and it's not from your perspective. That's documented history. That's not from your perspective. See, a lot of things people regurgitate because they don't really read. Mm-hmm. If you ask the average person what was the last book they read, they wouldn't even be able to tell you, because they just regurgitate different information that they didn't heard. And a lot of this information is misinformation and it's skewed to fit somebody's own agenda.
But I bring that up to kind of like, even though because I was listening to what you're saying, and I agree with you, when you talk about a community, because now it seems like, even though we've always been more of a tribal people, now since we're in the Americas, now we have to think more on a collective way. When I'm just wondering, have we ever been those types of people?
Yeah, when you look at we had no other choice. When you look at our history, we had to rely on each other. And if that's the case, right? And if we don't really want to think that way, and we are individualistic, then Black people need to stop complaining.
I don't agree with you. I was just
accept a lot from where it is, because in this particular situation, the way it's looking for us, we're going to be in last place. And all of the communities that are able to mobilize better are going to dominate over us.
So just going more from like a historical standpoint, because like I was trying to like I guess like draw a parallel. I'm not saying that like, because like I said, it pisses me off too. Like when I see random kids, I can just I said watching a kid grow up into a full grown adult, like that's a beautiful fucking process. And I don't care who it is, you know what I mean? So I can look at somebody else's kid. I can see the child in a lot of people, you know, out of a lot of adults that I talk to. You know what I'm saying? Because of just that whole, you know, that whole community aspect, and you know what I'm saying, and just the innocence of it all, right? But like, okay, so when it comes to other groups of people who have always been kind of fragmented the same way, right? Where they've had
No.
they've had their clans, you know, their own little tribes and things like that. How did they get to the unification aspect of it? Because they were given different priorities and different privileges.
That plays a part into it. Don't get me wrong, that definitely plays a part into it. But are we gonna make it seem like, are we gonna use that as an excuse to not try to mobilize and do better, especially for the next generation?
Oh no, it's
I
not.
feel like because it's simple, a community, stable families, businesses where you can employ people that look like you, hospitals, banks, different things like that. We're not even working towards that because a lot of us just simply don't want to do the work. And I understand, like, it's only so much work you can do as an individual and you can care. But at this particular point, it just seems like a lot of people, we just want to make an excuse to be fucked up. And I understand. Oh, excuse my language. I understand. A lot of us come from traumatizing situations. But what I'm seeing now is a pattern of we're just trying to use that as an excuse to not do anything for ourselves. And I think like it's a lot of garbage within our community that's not for our community. If it was up to me and I was the king of the Negro Kingdom, I'd get them up out of here by any means necessary. I'm coming through. Like if I was the leader of the Negro Kingdom, I'm coming through clean the house in the worst way. I'm not trying to hear, oh my bad, get them out of here. I'm not trying to hear, oh, but we was this and I'm trying, get them out of here. We have no time because right now we have other communities that are outgrowing us, and they are sowing. If you look at Detroit right now, over near Dearborn, Michigan, and I get it. It's a lot of the government is against us, has historically been against us, but we have to figure out a way, either that or we can just honestly say to ourselves, we don't care no more. We done lost hope. This what it is. But if you want it, but at the same time, it seems like we talk out of both sides of our neck. It's like, oh, you know, we never had a community, we never did this, or was it like that? And then at the same time, we like, but what about our community, and what are we gonna do? You can't have it both ways.
Yeah.
You can't have it both ways.
Yeah, I totally agree. It's, trust me, I get, you know what I'm saying, especially when that's why I really don't even go on other panels no more, because they be making me feel like I'm just so, you know, the one off, or like I'm lying or whatever.
Oh no,
I'm just saying what sounds good. I'm just like, no, it's the fucking truth. Like, especially when we start to get to a age and, you know, a place of understanding. You know what I'm saying? Like, are we supposed to just continue to act like we're in our 20s and think about ourselves, or are we supposed
and then
to
have this like, oh, everything is gonna work itself out? It's not. You don't see everything crumbling around you. You don't see that these kids can barely fucking read. Excuse my language. I'm sorry again.
No, you're okay.
You don't see that these kids can barely read. You don't see that a lot of these other groups are getting in positions of power, and they don't. They only looking at black people as a commodity to increase their wealth. You don't see that. You don't see how everything is so confusing that people don't know if they like the opposite gender or not. And that goes both ways, because we talk about the brothers. There's a lot of down low women too that are doing the whole gender fluid thing. That goes both ways. So, and it's a lot of people that are birthing kids in our community that don't care about these kids. These kids are just birthed out of screwing. So right. I'm not saying we don't have patches of people that are doing well, that they got their same mind like yourself, and what you do with your kids, like Candy Cane, and what you do with her niece. Mm-hmm. I'm not saying we don't have, but those people are pockets compared to what's going on. Because if we was more of a community, it would be more promoted instead of a lot of the ignorance. And we don't control anything. And this is not me coming from situation of hate. I'm coming from a situation of another black person observing things and seeing it for what it is, from what I'm seeing now to where it's going in the future.
So do you think it's I think it was, and I think it was you, but I'm not sure. I think somebody quoted you. It's a lot of times that you don't, we don't want a lot of these our kids to be around these other badass kids. So do
Yeah,
you
I don't
think
I don't I don't want them. I don't want my nephew around.
so do you
Because it gets to a point where it's gonna get to the point where you do something to mines, and I don't care about how people feel. I'm gonna have to hurt you. And
yeah.
then it's gonna get to a point where you're gonna bring your parents who act just like them, and I'm gonna have to hurt them too, or they gonna hurt me. One of the two. And either I'm gonna be locked up or something gonna happen to me. Or something
Right.
gonna happen to you and I'm gonna be locked up.
So
So it's got
do you
yeah,
think
I'm
it's
sorry.
like another, like maybe a different form of segregation is maybe needed? Because there was another conversation that I was listening to, and this is a while ago, but like what would it take, for us to buy our own town and set it up?
It doesn't take much. And shout out to the black folks that are buying land, that are trying to operate as a cohesive unit and different things like that. It doesn't take much. You just have to be around like-minded black folks that want to pull their money together and want to create something to benefit the next generation, the kids. Because I was born in the crack era, man. All of this stuff, and I'm not talking from. I've been asking questions since I was a kid because I wanted to understand where the dysfunction came from. I did a lot of because what a lot of people don't understand when you coming up in a lot of these communities too, like you can be a good kid, you can be a friendly kid, and the people that you deal with in these communities can turn you the other way, where they can turn you aggressive because you don't want to be bullied, or you don't want to be picked on, or you don't want to be thinking that you just gonna go along with whatever. And I understand this is not everybody's experience because everybody don't live like that. But I'm talking about what's more promoted, that's very loud on the internet, because it's not just the media that's doing this anymore. It's us that's uploading this.
Right.
A
That's
lot
why
of
I had to
us are
talk about
uploading
just
a
the
lot of
power
this stuff.
of influence, though. You know what I'm saying? Because like I said, it goes down to who you let babysit your kids, the neighborhood that you live in. Because you just mentioned, what I mean, how just your area tried to make you feel like you had to be a certain type of way because that was the influence, that was the whole tone down there. You
That
know what
was
I
the
mean?
influence from
Be
the inside of
be
my
aggressive.
household to the outside. That was the influence. I'm not saying it was completely, because I didn't have the worst upbringing. I knew people that was worse off, but just the whole atmosphere that it didn't seem like community or orient. Well, it did in the beginning. I can't front, it did, because we still had the church folks and different people like that, the grandmamas, but that's slowly fading away. I still didn't realize how much I picked up from my great grandmother and my grandmother until I got older, because that was such a part of my normal upbringing. You know what I'm saying? Apart from the bad stuff, but
Right.
like it's crazy, man. It's crazy how it's look. And then the funny thing about it is that we don't want nobody to critique anything in the community. We don't want to listen, but then we expect those same people that you don't want to listen to clean it up and sacrifice their time, sacrifice their money, and
And that's the
in
whole
some rare
thing.
cases sacrifice their lives.
Right. And that's the whole thing. That's what I really think it comes down to, 18. People don't want to be uncomfortable. You know what I'm saying? In any way, shape, or form. Like if they have to, like you said, like sacrifice something in order for somebody else or for the greater good, they be like, man, they don't be trying to do that.
Because people don't want to sacrifice in vain. That's what it really comes down to. A lot of people just
Yeah,
don't want
that
to
too.
sacrifice in vain. Like if I known things was gonna turn out like this, man, I could have took my little money and took my time and did something to make sure me and mine was straight. And you doing this out the kindness of your heart, and then for what?
To be fair, do you think that's where a lot of people are?
Yeah, it's a lot of people that are at that. It's just a lot of people now that's like, look, man, I can't tell them nothing about them and they bad kids. I can't tell them nothing about their erratic behavior. These people down the street, they doing this. These other people doing that. You try to jump into a situation, people are no, mind your biz. You like, man, let me just get the hell up out of here. Let me get the hell up out of here.
Tell him to land his plane. What up, Bronze Bird?
Quiet on the panel. Quiet on the panel.
Oh my god. Not no more.
Quiet on the panel. No, it was good.
Man,
this is a real good topic, LA Project, because when you were speaking, I thought of something, right? I was thinking this. So I have the reason to believe that social media always knows that they're still gaining money and they're getting all this stuff over these kids that's using the app. So they let these kids do a lot of the fuck shit that they do, and every time they get called out, they don't want to do anything about it because it would fuck up their algorithm if they were to be responsible for these kids using the app, such as what that stunt Saucy Santana pulled. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So they're letting the children into dysfunction, but they don't want to be responsible for it, so they let shit happen like that.
Yeah, I don't be wanting to hear that shit. That's what I'm saying. Like even back in the, whether it be whatever generation, us being watched by people, like I said, some of these parents who don't want to be parents and just always pointing their kids off on somebody, and they're not the safest people in the world.
It's worse.
Like, you just
but it's worse though, LA Project. But it's worse. You know why? Because I have suspicions to believe that the parents of today want to be friends with their kids more than be parents to their kids. I truly believe that. Huh?
So I said, tell me what the benefits, with that mind, going on with that mind frame. What would be the benefits for the parents?
Hold on, the cops is coming through. Hold on.
Oh, here we go. All right.
Being parents, being friends with your kids is just one thing. Some of these parents don't give a damn one way or the other.
No, you know why? But the thing about it is, the reason I say that is because they allow their children to run rampant, right? And they relied on technology to be their parents instead of the parents being the parents. So there is really no benefit to it, because if you're trying to be on the same level as your kid is never going to grow, because they're going to have the same maturity as you do as a parent, because you're supposed to be rearing your children and guiding them. But if you're not doing that and you're relying on outside sources to parent your children, then it's a lost cause. Not necessarily, but it's a lost cause in a sense, like, how are they going to grow up? You know what I'm saying? If they're relying on teachers in school, that's just going to hand them a packet, or they're going to rely on TikTok and all these social media accounts. And damn sure be it, if Saucy Santana was to run some class or some bullshit, how much down the road is these children, this generation going to go? It's going to go into a shithole.
You said you saw maybe like a year ago or whatever, some high school had invited Sexy Red, to come perform until she showed up at the high school smelling like weed, and then she got mad because they said that she couldn't perform. Like, girl, like,
they have no decorum.
It's like, it's one thing to try to relate to the youth, you know what I'm saying, but I don't see no benefit besides producing a bunch of unruly, defiant people. You know what I'm saying?
And that's
why I said it's no benefit.
That's exactly what it's done. It has produced a lot of, and the funny thing, like I said before, this whole rainbow thing is being promoted. Unfortunately, you got parents that are raising their kids up to act like this. And the same people that's complaining about down low men or rainbow men are the same ones that encourage that behavior. Are the same ones that's pushing for that behavior. Because, man, I grew up on, like, my aunties and all of them. My aunties and them, some of them people I grew up around, they were some straight up gangsters. They told me, like, they'd tell me often, no, we don't do none of that sweet stuff. We don't do none of that sweet stuff around here. It was people like other women that'd tell, no, you ain't no sissy. You a man, or you a young boy. Act like that.
Right.
You don't see that now. You're seeing a lot of that stuff being pushed. You're seeing a lot of that stuff being pushed, and you see a lot of it being pushed by the parents even. And that's why we and then we keep asking these questions like people don't see what's going on. Like it's going on right in front of our faces.
You know, I did a video on something called gay baiting, which is when they start doing a lot of homosexual stuff, but then they'll say no homo, or they'll do it with the intention of saying like they're not homosexual just because they do it. It's just for entertainment purposes. That's the epidemic that's happened with a lot of these young men, especially if you pay attention to a lot of these streamers. You know what I'm saying? So they have no problem getting along with a Saucy Santana and then sit up there and might doing some food stuff like throwing a wig just like he did, and then just doing all these crazy ass activities because they just want to be able to have it feed the algorithm. It's too much content based nonsense. I've seen that shit, man. It's crazy.
This is a picture from the charity event that I was telling you
Oh, the
about.
Sweet Bloods. Did a video on they dumbasses too.
And I'm just like, well, why did you feel like you? I mean, you can just support with your dollars, man. Like you don't have to run and wear the outfits and shit. Like,
it's like what? But you know what the excuse is going to be nowadays, though. LA, they're going to be like, "What? It's just a dress. Like, what does that mean? It doesn't mean anything."
But see, it's not just them. If you stand, shut up, Candy. Love me some Candy cane.
Hey, y'all.
But it's like if you don't go along with this stuff, or you check it from the gate, like, nah, man, I don't rock with none of that. Oh, you homophobic?
Yeah,
you transphobic? To the point that a lot of these people are being shamed into trying to go along to prove that they're not transphobic or homophobic.
Fuck that.
I came up here to jump in on a point that Bronsberg just made. Can I jump in on y'all?
What's up?
Yeah, you got it.
So when you were talking about the streamers, like that is such a real thing. I don't know if anybody's been paying attention, but these straight streamers will play gay for the algorithm, and it's the weirdest thing to me.
Mm-hmm.
Like even when they start, like even down to like some of these food review critics. I don't know if y'all have ever paid attention to some of these people, but like I've noticed some of these start doing like gay jokes or D sucking jokes. Like if they're eating a hot dog, and I'm just like, it's just weirdness. Why do y'all have to do that? Why can't you just do your food review? Why do y'all? It's like I don't even know how to explain it. Like Netflix had a shift at some point where I noticed in every single program they have something LGBTQ included. There's either a trans character or a gay character, and they usually mix it with a minority. So you got the black girl who's a lesbian, or you got the trans woman, man. Like, so it's weird because I feel like the algorithms are encouraging it, and then people who are supposedly straight are just going gay for play. And these kids are doing it even younger. I noticed it even with the black ones, the black streamers, these black male content streamers are even doing it. And it's weird.
And you know what's crazy? I just want to say something real quick to what Candy was saying. The thing is, it's not even hard to see it because we've always lived in a world where people will lower their standards for currency. And now the thing is, now that just lowering your standard is to pretend that you. And the funny thing about it is, if you pretend that way, you get support not only from the gay community, but you get support from women too. So now you have a lot of these people that are, even if they're not gay or whatever they is, man. I don't know. This seems weird, but
I wanna ask y'all a question.
They're doing it for the money, and people are going along with it. I give you one more thing. You got it, Bronsberg. Let me just say this. Lena Waithe, what's her name? That's her name, Lena Waithe, right? The one.
Yeah, it is. Yeah.
Look at how she tried to feminize them boys in the shot. I remember first watching it on the episode. Remember the boy that got deleted? She got this boy on a pink bike with pigtails, dressed like a girl, in pastel colors and everything. And then the other boy, Reggie, the one that played in, he had to leave because she wanted him to perform a rainbow scene with another man. Or she wanted to turn his character rainbow. So they abandoned the contract
right there, boy.
They abandoned the contract, and then they came to an agreement where he came back, and I think his character got deleted. So it's a lot of black folks that are down with this, that don't view themselves, that view this as a come up for them, and we need to understand that.
Yo, let me ask y'all a question. Did y'all see the clip of that musician that I think he is gay. I think that's been like already certified. He was at an award show. He says, "I'm sick and tired of straight men breathing." Did y'all see that?
We just saw that, yeah. Just like what's his other name? What's the other dude? What's the other dude? Funky Dineva, who tried to
Well,
say that
Funky Diney always talking shit.
straight black men was the problem in the black community. So we see
We always are. We always are. But that's why I've always said the straight heterosexual black man is a threat to society. Because the one that stands on his belief and doesn't tolerate the nonsense, they're not gonna like him because he's not gonna kowtow to their bullshit. And that's all it is at the end of the day. Like, that's why I say I'm not look, I can always say it like this. I'm not against gay people, obviously, because I have gay friends. But they understand, like, yo, respect my boundaries. But when I sit up there and I talk about the programming, some of them actually agree with what I be saying. I'm like, I'm not saying anything that's a lie. You know what I'm saying? And then, like I said, with the streamers, like, they had to do Black Boy Max. And the Jamaican guy just sat there and said, yo, stop doing the Batiman shit. And then everybody just sat there and got at him because he said what he said. And I'm just like, but I don't disagree though. If you're doing some next level shit, you deserve to get called out on it because that's us as human beings.
It's almost like, as much as I hate to say it like this, we're going in a society where you literally have to apologize for being a straight man.
I apologize for shit.
I'm just saying.
I'm just saying.
The energy is that if you're straight, you need to tread lightly. And that's exactly what was. And then the funny thing is, people gonna mess this stuff up, and then they're gonna turn around and complain about it later. Where are all the straight men? What happened to masculine men?
That's what they talking about now.
Like,
but that's what they talk about now. But if you a man that says something about that, you sassy, something's wrong with you. It's never a conclusive like, yo, he's a straight man that has a strong opinion on something. Oh, he's sassy. He don't love his mother. And all these like gaslighting bullshit that has nothing to do with the conversation. That's why I be sitting there like, yo, fuck y'all. I'm gonna stand on my own 2 feet. If you want to call me a sassy, that's fine.
Hold up, AT.
Eat a dick.
Man, how come all y'all? Man, here come. Hey, donate something, man, because I donated to get up here. Donate.
Listen, 18th, can I ask you a question?
Hold on.
No, Shane.
I got something for him.
LA, hey, beautiful.
What's going on?
What happened to Candy Cane? She left?
Yes. She said she had to call real quick.
18th.
I'll jump down in like 5 minutes. It's about to order something.
Hey, where you at, Brownsburg? You in Manhattan?
Come on, bro. You don't know the location. You don't know the location, my guy. I'm sitting on 40.
Just say the borough. Just say the borough.
I say my whole chest in Manhattan, 42nd Street. Bro.
Okay, money making Manhattan.
You know what I'm saying? 40 deuce, you
Money making Manhattan.
Stop playing with.
Shout out to Uptown. Shout out to the Lower East Side, Harlem, Spanish Harlem.
You know what I'm saying? What you say, LA?
I said, what you getting us to eat?
You getting your own food. You didn't even ask me, you know what I'm saying?
What kind of food? What kind of food?
I mean, you gotta ask first. I wouldn't mind picking you up something, but you just saying it like bold, like I gotta get you something. That's not very southern of you.
No, let's do that. What kind of food you picking up? You can't be straight tripping like that. Yo, bro. What are you picking up, bro?
Hello.
Bro, you a Johnny come lately, bro. You just came in the convo, son. Like, you want to ask me. You know what I'm saying? About to get this food real quick. Shout out to all my people. Louisiana Project, and Made a Troll. You know what I'm saying? Holla.
Hey. Bye, Brian.
What's up, May? Sorry for all the noise.
Shout out to May.
Hey, shout out to you.
Hey, baby. So I really loved and appreciated when you was on the panel the other day. Like, you were speaking some real shit, man. That was just really, like, it hit my heart, girl. That was real. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, thank you, Simon. I appreciate it.
I ain't talking to you, nigga. Shut the fuck up.
Oh, you ain't talking to me? Okay.
Nah,
who was you talking to?
I was talking to you, girl. Like, that was some real shit. When you
I was talking to you, gal.
I don't give a fuck.
I was talking to you, gal.
Nigga, please
Y'all
shut
are
the
wild.
fuck up.
Y'all are wild.
Yeah, calm back. Go to Wizards of Us or some shit like that. You know what I'm saying?
Did you limp your wrist with that? I was talking to you, gal.
Why you getting mad, bitch? Like, shut
All
up.
right, hold on. Let's let May give her, say what, give her opinion on the topic. So you
You
can
right,
go
you right, LA. May,
before
May.
y'all get back to the
I was talking
shenanigans.
to you, gal.
Oh
Go
wow.
ahead, May.
No, May
Look at
brang.
May.
She brang that. She
Okay,
brang
All
that.
right, it's
She
May's
brang that
turn.
shit. She brang that
okay.
shit.
Give me 1 second, Simon. I'll just take two quick minutes or
I
less.
was, oh, all right. Let me tell you something, right?
Okay.
LA did a panel with what's her name? Child? What's her name? LA. What
Huh?
what what was it?
Candy cane.
Candy cane, right?
Yeah.
That is one of the most hyper shit I've fucking seen in my life. Like, yo, you girls were going at it. I was like, oh my
Oh,
god,
okay. So he talk about yesterday, May.
yeah,
Oh,
that was
he
crazy.
what you got? You got excited about discussing virginities?
Yo,
Is
you
that what it
girls were
is?
going
Right.
at yo, bruh. I was like, oh my god, I've never seen women speak like this before. You know what I'm
Oh,
saying?
you got excited. Oh,
Yeah,
wow.
no, excited like that, but it's just like, yo, you're talking facts. You know what I'm saying?
Oh,
It's just
right.
like, yo, it was
Because they
just
actually
really
was speaking
cool.
from, from some, good like places of experience, which I always, what I'm saying, I always welcome and appreciate. But hold
Yo,
on, before you
man.
segue, May, what you got on the topic today, hun?
Sure, sure. Okay, so I've been listening for a while. Um, you began talking about
Uh-oh. You went out a little bit. May,
Yeah,
you still there?
she
y'all
trying to
hear me?
figure something out.
Can y'all
Okay,
Yeah,
you
hear
good.
me?
yeah, we
Yeah.
can hear it now. There you
Am
go.
I back?
Yeah, you're back. There.
Yeah, we can hear you.
Okay, cool. My phone gets on my nerves. People always interrupt my calls constantly. I mean,
Yeah, of
on my
course.
stream
Yeah,
yard. Okay,
Don't you
so yeah,
hate
let
that,
me say
May?
this.
Hey, May,
Yeah, I
before you
hate
finish,
it.
don't you hate that? I can be up
18,
here talking.
calm
I'm like,
down, bro, before I fire you up. Shut up,
you said
nigga.
what?
Y'all, come on, man. Y'all keep interrupting. Let May talk.
Yeah, I want to hear from the ladies.
Okay, I'll make it fast. I swear to God, I'll
Oh,
make it
you
super
fine.
quick.
It's them.
Okay, I know, but they
Go
can't
ahead.
resist, so let me hurry. Um, so let me say this. I was listening from the very beginning when you first started streaming, so I've been listening and looking at the examples and stuff like that. It's sad, but what I want us to think about too is the fact that it takes a lot of resistance as a parent to keep a lot of this stuff away because it's always seeping in. I'll say this at the very beginning. I am a very conservative person. I know I don't act like it a lot of times. Somebody can mute because it's like a whole bunch of.
That might be
Uh,
me. Let me mute up.
okay, no problem.
All right. Thanks.
Okay, perfect. No problem. And I don't act, people think you're supposed to act a certain way when you're a certain kind of person. I don't fit the box, but as you saw yesterday, I'm coming from a very conservative place. When we were talking, and I've kind of always been that way. And
Mm-hmm.
so when I say conservative, I just mean like in my mind, a lot of things have a particular order, and that comes from generations of following that order. It's a formula, and
Mm-hmm.
so it's not just based on picking and choosing really. But I feel like for conservative, socially conservative people, socially, I'm not talking about being a Republican, socially conservative people, I feel
Mm-hmm.
like we are at in a war for families. That's what I feel. And I feel like a lot of people are mixing and matching. And it's almost like the world. I'm not saying that I'm promoting this, but what's that movie? Uh, the women become subservient. What's the name of that movie?
It's a movie. The
The
stepfather,
Handmaiden's Tale. The Handmaiden's
Handmaid's
Tale.
Tale. Yes. Ooh,
You
child.
do you see how far they had to go to try to
Yes.
so-called bring the community back to the center? They never got back to the center, but they
Mm-hmm.
had to do extremes. And I feel like the people who believe, who are conservative, who or at least act like they're conservative or say they're conservative, it's like they have to go to a far, far extreme because the other extreme, which is the stuff you're talking about today, is so powerful and so strong.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that's what the war is. And there's us people who want to be in balance and we want to be in the middle. I don't feel like women need to give up the vote. I don't feel like we need to go back to 1950s and subservience and stupidity and all that stuff, you know. And at the same time, I don't feel like we need to be asking a 2-year-old, do you feel like a boy or a girl? We're not going to do
Right.
that.
Right.
So yeah, and so I feel like those of us who are very, very serious about winning the war of basic decency and common sense, right? We're gonna have to draw a line and we're gonna have to stick to it. And I think we can't pick and
Right.
choose. We can't mix and match.
Can I ask you a
I'm
question?
done. I'm done. I'm done. Go ahead.
Can I ask you a question?
Sure.
What do you know about being serious?
About being what?
Serious. What do you know about
Serious?
being serious? You said like you know that is like your main you know composition within your conversation. So what do you know about being serious? Have you ever been serious?
Spell the word for me. 'Cause
Well,
I don't your
right.
accent, man. Your
No,
accent
no,
is
what?
like
All right.
Are you saying serious?
Yeah, serious. How do you know what serious is?
Serious.
Serious.
as it relates to me saying that people have to get serious about making a
Yeah,
decision on
yeah.
what side they on.
That's your conversation, right? So yeah, what do you know about being serious? That's why I was asking you. And like you can like not like take the conversation further or like I don't mind. But it's just like I wanna know.
I- I'm not sure where you're going with the question. You mean serious about how we would act if we wanted to have like a decent, normal, common sense? How would we take ourselves seriously? Is that what you mean?
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, that would start out with just like lacking, like making sure that our kids are not exposed. Everything LA's been talking about, limiting stuff, telling the school district, I'm gonna opt out for that. You know, I don't want my
Hmm.
kids to participate. Monitoring what they say and do. There are kids who walk in to open house and they got some tranny as a teacher. I would have to be somebody who would remove my child. You understand? They're not going to deal with
Right.
that. Um, we're not going to confuse the children. I actually, for example, was going to this Starbucks and they have this trans man Western looking thing in a dress, and he wasn't satisfied with just handing his, you know, big hands with the nails out the window. He wants to come outside so people can see his full long dress. Okay,
I'm sorry. I know what you
I swear,
mean, though.
That's
Very
crazy.
yeah,
performative.
very performative. He wants to stand outside and take orders so that everyone can see that he's a big. And y'all should see him. He looked like
So
Andre the
wait,
Giant, the
Yeah.
wrestler,
right,
with a whole
right, right,
outfit on. He is not looking like a woman out. So it's insulting to
right,
me as a woman.
right, right,
And
all
I'm
right,
like,
man.
I'm driving. Hold on, wait, wait,
Hold
wait.
on, let her finish.
So I'm driving up in my car to spend my money with Starbucks, and then my daughter's in the back seat. What do I look like? You understand? Having this man thing come up to me and take my order, and my daughter looking like, what the fuck is that? You see what I'm saying?
Jesus Christ.
So
Hmm.
I had to just say, you know what? I actually got kind of cussed out because I backed my car up because I was not going to let my daughter see that, and I called outside of the Starbucks and I said, you guys realize y'all got somebody who's looking strange outside here taking, you know, I don't know what to call it. I said looking strange out here taking orders. It's not very professional, and I'm uncomfortable as a customer. And she said, if you're transphobic, you can find another company to buy your coffee from. Thank you very much. And that was it. Starbucks stands on that. They'll cut you out, you
No,
know.
mate, you're real.
Mm-mm.
So
Mate,
Simon,
let
what
me
I'm
tell you
saying, hold
something
on,
about
wait 1 second.
yourself,
Let me just say
man.
that. Let me finish. Hold on, let me just finish the sentence. So what I had to do is commit fully. I have boycotted Target. I have boycotted Starbucks. I'm serious about where I stand. And so I'm not playing with it. And so that's what I mean when I say serious. We gotta
Bro,
stop playing
yeah.
around with companies, brands, people. We gotta stop it and just say this is unacceptable. Go ahead, Simon.
Now I want to ask you what you want because you're really attractive.
What?
What do you
So
want?
what?
Man, you about to get cussed out for real, for real. May is a whole married woman. Like, what are you talking about?
You ain't
I don't even
married.
understand his. I can't understand your accent, Simon. You need to get a translator.
What do you want?
You
Simon,
always ask that
I don't.
ambiguous question.
LA, calm down. Ain't nothing to do with you.
No, Simon, you over here playing. Quit playing.
No,
But anyway, that's my
You
thought.
always
no,
That's all I want to
I,
do. I'm gonna drop down.
Wait,
I just wanted to share that thought. I just wanted to
no, don't
share
go
that.
nowhere, man. Hey,
don't do that.
we want you to donate to the fucking channel. Donate to the channel. That's what we want you to do,
Shut the fuck
Simon.
up. Ain't got nothing.
No, that's
Don't
real though. I don't think I've got one
18
from
try
you
to
yet.
play like he Rakim all the time. Like,
What is
shut
this?
the fuck up. Like, yo,
No,
all right,
'cause I'm
LA,
not here
how am
for
I?
music.
Tell me how am I doing bad? Because like
Well, you're
she's
cutting
not cute
people
to me.
off, and now you're
Now, why the
asking
heck?
people what she wants and all. I'm just like, what? Like this? Let's just
No,
talk
but
about
I find her attractive. Like, what's wrong with
See,
that?
that's not the topic.
The woman is married,
Simon.
man. And why the hell you come up here
I
drunk
don't
at
give a fuck
3 and
about
at
her
4,
husband.
4 in the afternoon?
Simon, I'm not.
Bro,
I gotta tell you something, Simon. Simon, I gotta tell you something honestly. You're gonna have to straighten up your accent. Your accent is like really. It's hard to understand anything you're saying. Do you know that? Hello.
He heard you.
He's like he's running it all together. And British people don't talk like that. So
I
yeah,
think he's
work
a
on
little
it.
inebriated right now.
No, it's all right. It's all good.
I got a link
You
for
know
you
that.
in the back, Simon. You go ahead.
No, I actually really like her. I think she's really cute. Like, I don't
May,
know.
I hear you, gal. I hear you, man.
He gonna never
hear
we
you,
can live that
gal.
down. Uh-oh, y'all know what? That might be another song. That might be a song for the TJ.
I heard that yesterday. I was like, yo, you know when like you just feel something about somebody? It's just like, oh my god, like this
Sitting there rubbing on your knee, May. What do you want?
I ain't rubbing
What
on
do
shit,
you want,
nigga.
man?
I ain't rubbing on shit, nigga. Yeah, I
What
got
do
you
you
in the
want?
back. I got you in the back. I'm the richest motherfucker on YouTube, bitch. Who the fuck?
And you ain't donated not one fucking
What?
pound. You ain't donated
Nigga,
not one
don't let
pound.
me start with you, hoe. What?
Listen,
This
there's
dude, man.
a nice link in the back
AT
for you, Simon, because I know
trying
you
to
don't
be
like
a
to
fucking
use Cash App.
impersonator, bitch.
So you go
Shut
ahead
up.
and exercise that. You heard me?
No, I just think she's kind of cute. Like, what's wrong with
Be
that?
quiet about you being rich and doing all this stuff. Be quiet. What are you doing to be serious when it comes
do you
to
want
this
me to
type
do?
of when it comes to influence on on young people? How are you being
No,
serious? Ask May.
I work with young people with special educational needs for like 14 years. Like
Okay, but
I made
I'm just
I
flipping
made I made a
the
lot of
question
people.
since you asked May.
Okay.
So what are you doing to be serious? As
I'm,
being
look,
a
I,
good
look, I'm a
influence
lawyer.
around
Like
young
I
people.
do a lot of serious shit every day. I'm a lawyer, so it's just like that's
Mhm.
what it is. You know what I'm saying? I've got acquisitions. I deal with business. I get cases, and
Right,
I
but
just
what about when it comes to like influencing or trying to be a good influence to young people who you might not even talk to, but they're going to see you, walking around or traveling from this place to that place. How are you taking yourself serious in terms of like
I don't
making
know.
sure that you're a
I
good
need
example?
I need a lady in my life to guide me with that
Oh my
because
God.
I find it kind of difficult. You know.
See,
I do.
no, see, 18th now, see, I'm trying not to let him debunk you, you know what I'm saying? But I mean,
I need
I
a
think that
lady in my
strong,
life
no,
to do
I
that
think that
shit.
strong male personalities help a lot. And
I
I'm
don't
not
claim to
talking
be an
about,
alpha or any of
and I'm
that
not
shit.
talking about in the overbearing way. I'm not talking about that. I'm just talking about, secure in themselves,
I didn't, look, I'm being
moving with
straight with you,
confidence
LA,
and
like for real.
purpose.
Like, no,
Hmm?
I need a lady. I need a lady to be in my life,
Lord
like
have mercy. Well,
to guide me.
I don't know. I can't. I don't know what to tell you about that one. We was like I said, we was more talking about influence on young people when it comes to questionable music and surroundings. So you got something on that?
No, I'm cold.
No.
I don't really understand all that shit. You know what I'm saying? Only a
I
woman
don't think
can.
you care that much, Simon.
Right.
Honestly, you don't sound like you have a real plan or a real. You just want to talk today, and that's okay. But um, I would say this. One of the things is this idea of clothing. I think we as people, it's hard to say something to other people's children or even in the school district. It's hard to say anything. But I just
Mm.
think that, taking a stand individual, you know what I mean? And you telling your children that's not okay for little boys to wear that. That's not okay. And correcting that because I'm seeing a lot of like rappers who you would say, oh, they're hard, they're hood, they're gangster, and they got on like lace, shirts, feminine
Right.
clothing, skirts and dresses, and they're
Nail
doing a lot
polish
of
and
weird
shit.
stuff. Yeah.
Yeah, like
Yeah,
look at my
it's
young
weird to
thug,
you,
you
but
know?
nah, that's normal. That's just standard shit.
No, it's
This shit
not.
came in. Hold up, it came in the 1980s, bro. Like we didn't create it. We just followed it.
But
You know
they
what
were
I'm saying?
celebrities. They were not everyday people, Simon. That's
Yeah,
different. You're
yeah.
right. There was Prince and there was rock and roll,
Mhm.
but we understood a lot of them were going to be on drugs and they were going to die early and that they
Right.
were rock stars. And we accepted them as that. And they were rich. They can do what they want to do. But we
That's why
actually
I
have
like
to
this
get out
shit.
here and function in society. We actually have to get careers and go to college. We're everyday people. And that's the problem, too. A lot of us have gotten into this culture of social media where everybody's so, above it all. Y'all see Jaden Smith?
Oh my
May,
God,
are
that
you?
poor
Weirdo.
baby.
Weirdo.
Like,
May, are you single?
no, I just told you she was married. Why don't you
I'm
believe
gonna
me?
No,
have to
she
go,
said she was
Simon, because
married.
you're
Yeah,
doing
like
too
this is
much.
getting
I'm gonna have
uncomfortable.
to
If you
go.
can't, no, 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 Simon, I'm gonna have to drop you because man, it's
I'm
starting to
just
get.
joking, like I'm just playing. Don't worry about
All right, back to it.
Nah, yeah, we might have to drop. We might have
God,
to drop.
man. Like I
Dr.
said,
Shut up,
Sin's on this
nigga.
bitch.
Ain't
I
up to you.
can't get
Ain't no.
two
This
pounds.
ain't your channel, you
18th,
dumb
like I can't
motherfucker.
get
I
two
ain't
of them
never come
things.
around
And
your
we
channel
and we
today.
were having a conversation that was supposed to be for ladies' ears the other day anyway, Simon. So you was eavesdropping because you're not a lady, okay?
You're damn
That was
right,
kind of,
because
Getting
I was
all
but I
suspect.
mean it was
I was like,
mixed. It was
bothered.
mixed at the
oh,
end, but I'm just
yeah,
saying,
yeah, you're
you
damn
were kind of
right.
eavesdropping on women. So hey,
Yeah,
just
Yeah, yeah,
of
you
course.
you
that's
So
how
very
that
you
go.
very
look. I
you're
love
very
LA. I think she's one of the most beautiful women on earth, and she don't want to get with me.
Simon, Simon,
Shut the
Simon,
fuck up! I ain't talking to you, ho.
Simon.
Shut up,
Yeah,
nigga.
You about to
God.
get your bitch
No.
ass dropped, you old lonely,
Yeah.
horny
Who
ass
the fuck
nigga.
were
You
you
about to
on,
get your
ho?
bitch ass dropped.
Who the fuck you think you talking to, nigga?
I'm talking to a whole ass nigga that I'm looking at in his face. That's what I'm talking to.
What's your name, nigga?
Don't worry about my name, bitch.
Yeah, what's your name?
Go fuck
My
out of
name's
here.
Simon, bitch.
You old half zesty,
Yeah,
half straight ass nigga. You better go on
You ain't
somewhere.
even got your shit straight. You wanna
My
call
shit been
yourself something
straight. What the fuck you
for
talking
somebody
about?
else, bitch.
Your shit ain't
You're a
straight. Up
fucking
here
dumb
playing,
motherfucker.
you being a fucking peeping
This
through the
nigga is
motherfucking
stupid.
keyhole
Look,
ass
I don't have
nigga
time for
on
you, okay?
YouTube,
I really don't.
stalking different women on YouTube that ain't gonna give you no action. You need to do
This
something about
motherfucker
yourself.
he been on the internet called himself the 18th letter.
All
Simon,
right,
you're a sad, miserable, lonely person. You need to
yeah,
get
seriously,
yourself some help.
I really want to get back to the because it's after 6 o'clock here. Y'all know I got cheering and stuff. Everybody got
Yeah.
something to do. Simon, it sounds like you having a great time, but like your time zone is different from our time zone. I want to get back. I want to hear what 18th and May had to say.
No. I'm just saying, yo, babe, I ain't fake. You know what I'm saying?
I just don't want you to be disrespectful and off topic.
No, it's cool. I'll drop, okay? Because
all right.
I got shit to do. But I'm just saying, look, I want to tell you this. You know what I'm saying? I think you're really beautiful. And you're doing an amazing job with your channel and stuff. So people subscribe to the channel, and do all that shit. But I'll always support you. So I'm out.
Simon, don't you got some cases to go do? You say you're a lawyer. I'm pretty sure your clients would be up the river.
Shit.
God damn.
Okay, send a couple pounds. You can send it with your credit card. It don't matter. Anyway, sorry about that, y'all. Jesus.
That dude looks like he's like a Tasmanian devil. Woo.
That's the most lawyering nigga that I know that I done seen on these panels.
Man.
I'm like, you say you're a lawyer. When do you have cases? You sitting up on YouTube all damn day? I'm pretty sure cases been piled up on your desk. Them people, they know they going to jail.
Damn.
I'm telling you, he a mess. But
No,
I was gonna say one of the things I was thinking as well. I just wanted to share this real quick. Is the resisting the language. Y'all know what I'm talking about? Resisting the language. They be trying to make people say words and stuff
mm-hmm.
politically correct. And I think teaching your children not to buy into that. For example, like you don't let your child call themselves, "I'm a cisgendered woman." Like, no,
Oh
you're
my
a
God.
female. You're a woman. Period. You know.
Right, right, right. Exactly. I mean, and even when it comes, I don't know, I've expressed my confusion, with the pronouns and stuff like that, because I'm just like, now we want to take it out the box to be considered they and them and all kinds of other different types of words and stuff that I never heard of. I'm just like, look, man, I'm sorry. Like, I'm going off of first mind, first eye. And I'm sorry, you might see yourself in a certain way or whatever, but my first mind tells me something else. And I'm not trying to be disrespectful, but I'm not trying to live in that type of delusion at the same time. Like, it's not hate. Like, you know how people, even when it comes to like racial things, you know what I'm saying? Like, when we wanted to point, or people wanted to point out that
Mhm.
this is what happens, and with the black community and this, that, and the third. Oh well, cops' lives, no white lives, man. We get that. All lives technically should, but can we focus on the ones that we trying to focus on? Like, being and pro me is not anti you, if that makes sense. It's just like I feel
It
like
does, but even we're afraid. Did you hear even the conversation the way you're saying it? There's fear
yes.
there of being, it's like we got to tiptoe. We're all doing it. We're all tiptoeing instead of just saying it is not disrespectful to decide that I am not buying into a delusion. That is not
Hmm.
disrespectful. So I don't have anything to apologize for because it's clear what women look like and what men look like. And if you're confused, that doesn't mean I have to start learning how to be confused.
Do
You know what
y'all
I'm saying?
remember? Do y'all remember Angela Staton King?
I love Angela Staton. I really agree with a lot of things she say.
That Let me see if I can find something.
I'm
I
not
I
familiar.
got the other one. She she was a black woman, or is a black woman, should I say, that was kind of like connected to like the Trump presidency in a certain sense, like when it came to like behind the scenes of legislation and stuff like that. But she also had like, I think she try to run, she wanted to run for public office 18th. Um
Uh, yeah, yeah, she did
yeah,
try
and
to
then
run at one
also
particular point.
her son, I guess during all this time or whatever, because she spent some time in prison. And that was one of the things, I guess, that she actually had a conversation with, with Trump or whatever, in order to make it to take away the practice of handcuffing pregnant inmates, like to the bed when they give labor. Because like if you're an inmate or whatever and you're pregnant and you have to, go into labor or whatever, they'll still keep the handcuffs and stuff on you. So like she was one of the people that kind of like, I guess, got rid of that, because that's how one thing that happened to her. But her son ended up being like, a trans, becoming a transgender. And it was a big like to do, because like she ended up, I think, on Dr. Phil and some other stuff, just kind of going back and forth about the situation, because she was just like, I gave birth to a son. Like, I don't know what you want me to say. You know what I mean? Like, I get it. You want to be called certain things and you want to be seen a certain way, but that's not what the truth is. And people were giving her backlash, in terms of like her
Because here's the
motherhood
thing.
and this, that, and the third. It was just ridiculous. She just didn't want to lie to
Here's
him.
here's the thing that we don't understand. People are being brainwashed. Just like how racism wasn't always racism. It was a system that was put in place that was slowly developed to push forth propaganda to change people's minds on who was inferior and who wasn't, and who was superior. And the same thing, those methods still exist today. It should ring a bell in people's minds. If you got corporations backing this up, if you got um, different sports businesses backing this up, if you have this being implied in schools and different things like that, or being pushed in schools, it should tell you that and there's money behind it. It's rapid money being pushed, and it leaves people in a state of confusion, because unfortunately we live in a country that prey on their own. The United States eats its own. When the United States have nobody to squeeze money out of anymore. They squeeze it out of their own. And we live in a country that's run by capitalism. It's run by corporations. So it's
Right.
very important for people to understand what we're dealing with. Because if you don't even understand what we're dealing with from the beginning, you're going to be in a state of confusion. And you have some people on here, the way the things being pushed, you got some people on here that know that they're straight, and they never was confused, but now they're being confused because it's almost like we're telling them, things are being pushed in a direction where they like, I don't know if I want to be, am I straight or not? And for people that can't think for themselves, we're being pushed towards this gender fluid.
Gay is the new, yeah. Gay is the new black, you know. If you go to elementary and middle school, you'd be surprised when you look at the kids' book bags and stuff, or their little bracelets they be having on. You will see a lot of rainbow stuff. It's like I need to have some skill on my body that says I'm open and I'm a good person, you know?
Yeah, it's gotten to the point too where you hear it all the time, which we knew that was the purpose to begin with. You have people that are rainbow, that are transformers. They're just not comfortable. And the funny thing is, the more power people get, the more emboldened they become. Where things that are said now would have never been said 15, 20 years ago. But you have people now, you'll hear the transformers, you'll hear the rainbow people say now, or the rainbow guys, oh yeah, I'm trying to sleep with straight men. I want a straight man. Where you literally got transformers telling women that I can,
Madison be talking about,
or that I can take your man, that I can take your man, and as much as I hate to say it,
and not only that, you got women, you got transformers now that are saying I can speak for women. I can speak for women. I'm going to sit on the panel as a woman.
They wouldn't be so comfortable. They wouldn't be so comfortable had women not opened the doors for all of that. And there was a lot of women, unfortunately, that opened the doors for all of that because they said that the patriarchy was bad, all of these toxic straight men. They wanted to align with any movement that they felt like that disrupt the natural roles of men and women. And now a lot of women have cut their nose to spite their face. And this is where we are. And the funny thing is men
I don't think it's just I don't think it's just women though, because a lot of the ones that are doing it are men. You see what I'm saying? A lot of these transformers that are looking for a lot of the transformers that are looking for rights and they want to assert themselves, they're actually males. You see what I'm saying?
No, but
so they're the ones pushing the legislation. The males that want to be females.
I get what you're saying, May, but women was their biggest supporters. We can't deny that, right?
That's true. Women in general. Women and gays
and
have been the biggest supporters.
And it's gotten to the point where things have reversed so much to what the one guy was saying. It's true. In the beginning that LA played, that you have women emulating cross-dressers makeup styles.
I can pull that back up.
Yes.
That is true. Like a lot of that stuff is true. The big lashes and all of that other stuff, the overdone makeup, they're literally emulating transformers and drag queens.
Well, see, there's a problem there because what happens, like I'm a natural woman, for example, and as soon as among us women, natural women start critiquing this stuff and saying, if you're an active woman doing what women do, taking care of kids, taking care of your household, you really don't have room for 3-inch nails. Other women get mad and they say, oh, you're trying to control us. And we've had these conversations, and the wigs and all the the politics around hair. It never goes anywhere because at the end of the day, people have personal liberation. You know what I'm saying? People going to do what they want to do. And they don't recognize that they're blurring the lines, that you look like a man in drag. Mm-hmm. And when you tell them that, it's an insult. Yeah, it's an insult, though, when you say you actually look like a transformer. You don't look like a biological woman.
Look, I mean, if people are honest with themselves, like I think it was the first time that I ever, quote unquote, hired a makeup artist, and that's what I said about myself. So I was like, I don't even look like no I look like a drag queen. Like, that's exactly, like, as soon as I looked, I was like, oh hell no. Like, you gonna have to tone some of this down, honey, because this shit is too much for me. Because I look like a drag queen. And I'm just like, how does that happen when I'm a natural born woman? That shit was crazy.
Right.
But it's true. I mean, if they're actually honest with themselves, they know that they be looking like that sometimes. You know what I'm saying? A lot of the times, actually, especially when it's super exaggerated. Like, who told? I just don't know how that became the standard of anything.
And the thing is,
I think what happened was there were women who were being told in society that they don't need a beauty standard, particularly Black women. And they were thinking to themselves, well, how do I leverage that? Let me change my hair to blonde, right? Look at what is it, Serena? Which one of them went blonde with a white man?
Yeah, Serena.
You see what I'm saying? She's on the skinny tip now. White women are skinny. Let me be skinny. I want to be more beautiful. Let me fix my nose.
Can I say
Let me
something
lighten
real
my
quick, man?
skin. You know, the Michael Jackson effect. I think a lot of Black women got the Michael Jackson effect.
The funny thing is,
let me get my straighter hair, my blonder hair. You know, let me fix my face, change it, contour my makeup so I look funny. Let me put on these eyelashes. You know, all this weird stuff they're doing, thinking it's in the line of femininity. And the truth of the matter is, women are out of alignment with what feminine is. That's the bottom. You know.
And let me just say this real quick, man.
Okay.
Who are they trying to be validated by? Because in our community, people talk a lot of crap, but Black men have always been chasing after Black women. Black men are the ones that date a majority of the women in our community. So when you start, and when I hear a lot of these certain women talk, you can tell it's a thirst for global validation. It's like being validated by the men in our community ain't good enough. We want white men. We want all of these other races.
Yeah, 18.
Yeah.
You can't hear him?
No, I haven't been able to hear him in a second. Ooh, let me go out and come back in.
Okay. All right.
But practically people are not being honest. You have certain, and I got to keep it real, and I know people don't like my opinion, but you have certain women within our community too that have a deep inferiority complex, and it gets swept under the rug because they feel like that these group of women are on a pedestal, or they're on a higher pedestal than us, and it ain't got nothing to do with Black men in some cases. Some cases it's just the fact that they feel that they want to be globally validated the way that they think that they see these other races of women globally validated. They want that.
I think we definitely want to be. We don't want to be seen or categorized as the least desirable out of all the women in the world.
But see, that's not to Black men. But they turn around and they scapegoat Black men for that.
But
and they scapegoat. Let me just finish. They scapegoat Black men for that. They scapegoat Black men for that, LA, when in reality they want to chase after these other groups of men that don't really want them like that. And that's the part where we're not being honest about.
Well, I think that's both. That's kind of like what I kind of gather, honestly, even when it comes to people, you know, the men who, you know, pedestalize the other groups of women, and it's like, oh, when I go to Thailand, they treat me like a celebrity, and I'm just like, you don't know why they're doing that. You know what I'm saying?
But
like,
LA, do you think that comes from? Don't get me wrong, I'm not for the tit for tat, but I do understand. Do you think that comes from? You got women on here that's saying Black men ain't never built nothing, we ain't never established nothing, we ain't never created nothing. We down low, we rainbow, we chase after other women, we all in jail. We not on the same level as our women. Our women have well excelled and passed us. This is all coming from like the women who announce that they're better than their own men. Even though a lot of this stuff is lies, it's not even true. But so I'm trying to understand, what is a man to do when you met with that type of vitriol and aggression and hatred?
I mean, is that every woman that you talk? You know what I'm saying? Like, to me, I see it the same way as weak nigga shit. Okay, and what I mean by that is, oh, you ain't got no man anyway. Oh, don't nobody want you anyway, ugly bitch, because I wanted your number, but now you told me no, so now you know what I'm saying? Like, oh, you're the least desirable to me. Oh, your pussy stank. Like, oh, to me, that's all weak nigga shit. Like, why can't you just see it as whenever you hear something from a woman, that's some weak bitch shit? But a lot of
Well,
women
because
don't
they
think
because
that way.
they're the loudest and they are the majority when
Well,
it comes
I
to
mean,
lead.
so
They're the ones that they're the majority when it comes to leading
I'm just
the
saying.
female arguments. I got to keep it real. And but then people steady asking. You say all of this about men, but yet you still steady asking men to do stuff or help with the community or how dare they do this, and it just don't make no sense to me. I'm talking about for the for if this narrative is that black men is so horrible, it just don't
I'm
make no
just
sense to
saying.
me.
I think that is a lot of, unfortunately, a lot of the negative, minority is just that's what people choose to. I don't know why people choose to pay attention to that stuff and why they're highlighted so much. Like that, I swear, when I came on here, I got labeled with the mammy and all that bullshit because the type of men that I am surrounded by, like the men that I know, they're not like anything like what I'm hearing. But then also as I'm listening to not only married men, but army vets and all these, men who are supposedly like, oh, we should just respect you and I've accomplished things or whatever. And I hear how horribly they talk about black women. To me, it's just like it's the same thing. That's just a weak nigga that I'm looking at. I'm not looking at somebody who actually appreciates the feminine, who actually knows or is surrounded by good women in their life. They're probably the only good person that they knew was their grandmama and their wife. Okay. And shouts out to them. But thankfully, you know what I'm saying? Like some of us, we have seen good examples around us to the point where we don't look in general at the opposite sex in a certain way. So when I hear that shit, whether it comes from a woman or a man, I'll just be like, oh, that's that weak shit right there. Because you
Well, as
can't
much
have
as
your
I hate,
way. So now you're trying to break somebody down because you can't have what you want.
yeah, as much as I hate to say it, that's the like. As much as I know you don't think like that, LA, and so maybe the same thing can be said for me. I know you don't think like that. You don't have that mentality, but right now, as a woman, that's your representation. That's your
No,
representation in the
I don't
public.
agree with that. I don't agree with that,
It's
AT.
cool. I understand that. I understand. I wouldn't agree. I wouldn't want to agree with the negative stereotypes that's portrayed on black men, but I have to swallow the pill and say that's the representation of black men. That whether it's right or wrong, even though I know it's a lie, that's what people see when they see, and that's what's being pushed. And it's been a lot of women that have a lot of vitriol in our community and anger and hate towards black men. And a lot of the times, we this is the misconception. A lot of the times, black men ain't even done them nothing.
Listen, there's always going to be in any population some bitter people, like leftover bitter people. And when I say leftover, I'm not saying whether they're single or married, okay? I'm not meaning their status. I mean leftover people as in they're just not fit for certain functions in society. They're leftovers. You know what I mean? You'll have that in the job market. It's some people they're just not fit for getting a job. There are some people who are just not fit for functional relationships and friendships and stuff like marriage. They're not fit. And what I would argue is that you have a lot of online people who are unfit and they come to a cesspool, a watering hole, and they get their poison that they need every day to kind of sustain themselves. This is what I see. Because before the Kevin Samuels and the Manosphere stuff came on my radar, I didn't see any of this stuff. And I talk about that all the time. um, my environment dictates a lot too. You know, the environment that you're in dictates a lot. The circle of people that you put yourself around, the type of family you come from, all these things influence. When you have a whole circle of friends and networks, right? Black networks of friends, and you see couples that are building amazing businesses, it's very
Love it,
difficult to
love it.
buy into these
Yeah,
it's
love
very
it.
difficult to buy into these things. You understand? When I see
Yeah.
lots of couples that's been together in my neighborhood, I have 400 units, and almost all of them are couples that have been together for 30, 40 years. It's very difficult for me to buy into everybody's angry with the other sex, and there's a battle and there's a war, and the gender is going to dis. Yeah, I cannot. That's not the
Well, it's
world I'm
hard.
living
Like
in.
I don't think a lot of. I understand that your world. That's not your world, mate. But that don't mean it don't exist either. It just means that that's not your world. But from what
Yeah,
I've
I
seen
would
growing
suggest
up, just like,
that people change their environments and change your circles and change your status of
but
whatever you're dealing with. You got a
but
choice of what you want to see. Go ahead, I'm listening.
yeah,
That's
and I
yeah.
think that would be the same. But when that's easy to say, but when you're pushing that narrative out there to shape people's viewership of how they view the certain sex, I think a lot of us just don't want to deal with what's actually going on when it comes to that. And the thing is that you have a lot of people. I don't want to get into it, but I was asking, but see, another thing too, people think that whole Kevin Samuels thing is new. That's not nothing new. A lot of these conversations have been going on amongst black men. Even when I was young, I used to ask myself, why these women, certain women got these negative attitudes that they looking me up and down like I done something to them, or different things like that. A lot of brothers have been asking these questions. And
what kind of, hold on, wait, 18, what kind of environments are these brothers in? I'm asking not to be funny. I'm asking authentically. Are these blue collar men who have female bosses and they're catching flack
yes,
on the
I
job?
dealt with it. I dealt with it myself, having female bosses. I dealt with it myself. Yes, I've seen it. I dealt with women trying to
blue collar work. I'm trying to be
yeah.
specific.
When I worked at Sam's Club, I had 2 female managers try to talk to me like I was a boy because they couldn't and didn't know anything about the department that I worked in. And I'm trying to literally tell them, wait, hold on. I'm trying to literally tell them, and then just throwing their weight around. Oh, we run this. You gonna do what we tell you. Like, I'm like, but if I talk to a white manager, it's gonna be something completely different, and that's sad to say. But yes, a lot of this stuff, the misandry amongst black men does exist. When you do have certain women that's within our community that's in a position of power, they do try to look down on black men, challenge you if they can, or literally try to throw you under the bus. That does happen.
Okay. Let me say this. I agree with you that that's probably true. I've heard that on the internet. I ain't experienced it, but I've heard that multiple people have said that. Multiple men have said they've discussed these things, and consistently, most of it has been like blue collar work. Like everyday people's work. Not necessarily a profession. Where you have standards and ethics, and you can be taken into HR and they take it serious. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Where there's no checks and balances. So among blue collar men, they have complained for sure that when women, particularly black women, get to be their bosses or even work beside them, try to boss them around. And I think that comes from the women probably come from a place of poverty, and they've never had any power in their life. They've probably been dumped on and shitted on and bottom of the barrel. And so when they do get a position of power, just like that mama last night, I don't know if you saw that.
Yeah, I did. I was over there.
You see? Yeah. And so some people, that's let me just say this real quick and I'll be quiet. Okay. Hold on real quick. I'll just say this and be quiet. I think that is a human issue. Anytime people are disempowered and they've always been the bottom of the barrel and they're unempowered, they are going to take the first chance they get to show out on somebody they think is beneath them. So go ahead, bro.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I was just going to say what you saw with that mother was not that's normal. That happens a lot. Like I saw that growing up. Maybe not in the sense of her forcing him to lay down, but mothers talking to their sons like they crazy, trying to emasculate their sons. That was nothing new. That's why you have certain men that are scared to say anything, or whatever that they say is going to be challenging. Man, that's just women, man. Because that's how they was brought up, and it leads to a lack of self-respect or this idea that that's just the women, they can just talk to you any kind of way, and that's the way that it is, and it's a bunch of BS. But I saw that a lot growing up.
Do you think they do it to their daughters too?
They do it, yeah. They do it to their daughters. It's different, but they definitely do it to their daughters to the point everybody leave and get the hell out and don't come back. Everybody so it does happen. It does happen. Yes.
I definitely agree with May. I've been kind of saying the same thing. I hate going back and forth. I think a lot of the stuff is character flaws in people in general. You know what I'm saying? A lot of broken people, walking around just reacting to shit. You know what I'm saying? That's why you gotta pick and choose, especially since we're old enough, like we just disregard the nonsense, man. Like we should know, this person is not a stable person.
You're right, but it's the nonsense is so strong that a lot of people, you don't want to move as an individual, but a lot of people are being forced to, because you have no so you gotta most people just look, I don't give a damn. I'm gonna get the hell on. I don't owe nobody nothing when it comes to the community you're trying to fix or trying to build in. I don't owe him anything because they ain't never done nothing for me. They can't certain people can't accept critique. You got to damn near get into a fight with somebody to point out that, you know, hey man, this shit ain't right. This ain't cool. You got to like, so it gets to the point where most people are just moving as individuals and they're going to depend on their, and you at a disadvantage doing that. Don't get me wrong, but at this particular point, you got to weigh your options on what's better. And that's why you see the black community is suffering from a brain drain. People that are logical thinkers and critical thinkers within our community, they're leaving. They're getting the hell
Well,
on.
you know what? They're not really leaving. What's happening, in my opinion, there's always been and I get in trouble for this all the time, but I believe in separation, brother. I believe in separation. And some people say
Right.
that's elitist and that's this and that, but I really, really believe in separation. There are certain environments, certain types of people. A lot of times it flows among socioeconomic and educational lines.
That is
I don't
very true.
fool with. I don't
Yeah.
fool with. I don't want to be around them. I don't want them to live around me. Um, and they have certain mentalities. I don't want my child to go to school. I literally drive my child, even though this area is a very nice area. The mentality of some of the parents who've been able to actually afford to live around here, I don't
Mhm.
like. So my daughter can't go to school with them, so I have to drive
Right.
her like 15 miles out. So I believe in separation. I don't give up on the black community. I say I need to find other black people who are like me. And I happen for the most part to live in like a community, this whole part of Atlanta that I'm in, Stone Mountain, this particular area. I mean, we've got
Shout
like at
out to the
least
A
like
town.
yeah,
Hey.
Shout
we
out
got
to
at
the
least
A
like
town.
50, we've got at least 50 black subdivisions of people who are very similar minded. We don't play with ours. You know what I'm saying? We want order. We want stuff to be right. You're not coming through these neighborhoods with no blasting music. You're not hanging out. You're not going to do none of that around here. We got HOAs and we will check you. And we will check the businesses around us. So I think we got to find standards within our community that fit and align with ours and be around those people. That's my thought. I'm not giving up on
And
black
this is
people. I
somebody,
just separate.
this is somebody, look, I came from the ghetto. I came from the hood. I participated in, I did certain things and everything. But it gets to a point where you just get, you be like, this is really? Really, y'all? And then people, like, you know your kid out here doing bad. You know your kid out here robbing and deleting people. You know it. You know your
But
kid
18,
ain't doing, you know.
don't you think some of those people are programmed to do exactly what they're doing? So why are you mad at them?
What do you mean?
Mm.
Because it affects us as a whole.
But
But
you
Because
they've
one
been
thing
doing
understand
it.
though.
Their
isn't,
granddaddy was doing it. Their mama was doing it. They've been doing it generationally. So why are you mad at people for doing what their parents did? Are you gonna get mad with the girl for being a teenage pregnancy when her mama was a teenage pregnancy, her grandma was a
Mm.
teenage pregnancy, the one before that? Why are you getting mad with them for doing the programming that they was taught, that they
I'm not
watched
getting mad at
generationally?
them for doing that. I get mad at people for asking the same questions over and over when they act like they don't see what's in front of us. That's why I get more mad at the conversations because people act like that they don't have common sense to see what's actually going on in front of us. I don't understand how those types of people can be that confused when
Yeah.
we know with certain behaviors where it's going to lead to, what position that is going to lead to, and all types of stuff.
What I'm saying is they've been doing
I
it,
understand
and
that.
it's generational. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
No, I was just real quick. I can understand where he's coming from for that one. You can go ahead, May.
So that's that's
Yeah.
that's that's my that's my that's my only thing. But I wanted to ask LA, can you
Yeah.
play before you even play that video with the guy? Can you play that video that I sent you, and that's gonna sum up some of what he's talking about?
This with the streamer.
Yeah, with the streaming. Yeah.
All right, hold on. I got you.
Yeah. And see, I just don't. I feel like it's wasted energy trying to reform people and change people and fix people. That's just my perspective, though. I feel like you need to leave. We got to leave people
No.
alone.
Yeah. I think people make it hard for you to care, and
They
it gets to
do.
the point where you don't care no more, and you like whatever happened to him happened to him. Like for instance, over here in Gary, right? They just shot at a Nisco truck that was trying to restore power.
Oh my
So,
God.
and here's the thing, right? And here's the perfect example. We can say, oh, that's just one individual that did that. Well, the whole fucking city is going to suffer from that now. Because you know what they
Right.
said? You know what they said? These Negroes want to shoot at a truck, and we
Hmm.
trying to restore power. We're going to leave them
Ain't
without no
going there.
power.
Yeah,
We're
fuck
going to
it.
leave them without no power. Fuck them. And then now you got people, but y'all can't hold that against that. So what certain people do in our community does affect us, whether we like it or not. And now
were those black people? Was it black people that shot
Gary,
him?
Indiana? Well, I don't know, but it's a majority black, so I would think that
85%.
It might be because it's right outside of Chicago, so it may be. And really, what it comes down to is that what certain people do affect us. And don't get me wrong, I like the ratchetness just like other people to an extent, but it gets to the point when that shit just becomes, people, oh, this is just the way it is, and who are you? You don't want a motherfucker to care.
It's the way it is. I can't stand that.
you don't want nobody to care about. You don't want nobody to care. And then even when we call out a coon, right? We know coons exist, but at the same time, why the hell you care that they cooning if you know you don't want them to tell you anything? If you don't know that they don't want to critique, they feel like I can't get nothing from the black community, I might as well go outside my community and make some dollars by putting my own people down. That's the way a lot of people think, but
Well, I found mostly the coons are people who's from the hood. That's what I found. Most of them, like real coons, they from the hood. They tired. They got hood fatigue. That's what I found. Like John Gall, you know what I'm saying? They got hood fatigue.
Yeah.
And so they're lashing out at the world. Say what now?
No, I'm sorry. That's a good example.
Yeah, they're lashing out at the world. They got something to prove. And I like LA said, you get to be an adult, you got choices. And that's what I would promote for somebody who wants peace of mind. Because I tried to go into the hood and the ghetto as a teacher and change folk and rearrange people and fix them and this and that.
Yeah.
Right. I would not recommend that, because what you're going to find is you're going to spend a whole lot of energy trying to change generational curses and a whole lot of fucked up mentality that your little hour a day that you're spending with somebody is not having no kind of impact. Okay. You can preach, you can do all of that. I had girls, I would sit down. She said, I'm about to fight that bitch. I'm going to fight that bitch. And I said, oh, this is a teachable moment. Let me sit down and talk to this young lady. Let me tell you what your consequences are, because maybe nobody ever talked to you about making good decisions. So if you do choice A and you stay here, you do your work, you have a great day, you go home and you come back tomorrow and you can keep your grades and you can graduate on time. Now, if you decide that you want to go out here and fight this girl, you're going to get arrested. You're going to go to jail. Your mama ain't got no house, so you're going to sit there. And then you're going to miss a lot of days. You're going to be suspended, and you're probably going to get behind, and you're not going to graduate. So let's make better choices. Can you hear me, 18?
Yeah, I can hear you, man. Can you hear me?
Making that food, goddamn.
Oh, I'm sorry, y'all, because I thought I had muted up.
You all right? So what's this video right here? Because it's only
it goes to show you when he said like about aggression and everything. It's going to show you, because this happens often too. Watch this real quick.
All right, let me see. Let me make sure the volume is on. Okay.
That won't even be a thing. Excuse you. What? Didn't you hear me?
You can have some manners.
Like I said, excuse you. What is you talking about?
You can have some fucking manners.
Like I said, excuse you.
You can have some manners.
Like I said, excuse you.
You see what I'm saying, bro? I should really fuck you up. You can call your nigga down here too. Go to my shit. You can call him. You got no fucking respect. Dumbass bitch. Suck my dick. And y'all niggas just be what? Word of mouth. Fat ass bitch.
Wait, come here.
Suck my dick, dumbass bitch.
Wait, why she get on that?
Nigga, cause she was walking. Ask Petey, bro. Petey's my.
She bumped into you with that shit. I seen it.
Looked in front of us, and she was like.
She said, excuse you.
I said, what?
What's that?
What'd I say, Petey?
Jay Drunk. I don't even know.
I didn't say nothing crazy though the first time, right?
He said, wait, can you have some manners?
Yeah, I said, can you have some manners? And she also. Then she threw her fucking drink at me, fucking dumbass bitch.
She just started whining. Yo,
bro.
Oh, okay. No problem, hun. Yeah, man, I do not be understanding operating underneath that type of thought process. I don't. Yeah, man. That's why I was like, he's a decent looking, you know what I'm saying, little light skinned Joan. Like, she just felt like stunting on him. That shit was wrong. That shit was wrong. And I know that.
But he would have been wrong if he hauled off and hooked her, right?
I mean,
he would have. After she bumped into him like he was a dude.
But she was just as wrong. She was just as wrong. Like
No. She was wrong. It wasn't. He didn't do anything wrong to her.
No, he would have been like no. If that was like if it would have been like a reciprocal type of thing, like you know what I'm saying.
But nobody, and that's my argument. No, a lot of people wouldn't even see it that way. They would look at him like he's supposed to walk away, or he's supposed to accept that, even though she bumped into him like she was a dude, cursed him out like she was a dude, threw a drink at him, and then swung on him like she was a dude. That's what the guy was talking about in that video, which we've seen situations like that has happened. Now,
yes,
if she ran into the wrong one, people have been talking about how, oh, you should never put your man. Get out of here with that. But yeah.
I know. I understand the frustration. I mean, me personally, like I've never had friends who did shit like that. You know what I'm saying? And I wouldn't, because what are you doing? I've gotten rid of friends for doing other shit. You know what I'm saying? Like not on a physical way, but like they cheating or they treating it, cussing them out or treating them wrong. I'm just like, what the fuck is wrong with you? You know what I'm saying? Like, because she's proven herself to be unstable. Again, you know what I'm saying? This is a character for, I don't know what the young lady, what her deal is, or why she feels like she got to go around puffing her chest. But it's never wise for a woman to sit there and haul off and hit a man. Never. To sit there, antagonize, throw drinks and do all that shit. Like, it's not that serious. It is not that serious. And that's my message. Like, shoot, girl, you better walk away. Because if he does hit your ass back, then what you want me to say? Nothing.
And that's the funny thing about that situation, because you have, and I'm listening to what Ola Rock saying. You got some niggas, it ain't even about, no, I'm not arguing with no one. No, it's about respect. Some people move off of respect. It don't matter whether it's a man or a woman. Some niggas out here will fight both men and women over their respect. If you disrespect somebody and talk crazy to them and say, oh, F you BAN, and try to swing on them, man, no different than the man. Some men out here they'll get on that.
Yeah. Some men will definitely. That's when a lot of people believe in equality. You know what I'm saying? When, like you said, when they feel disrespected, that's when they be like, oh, and I'm
and this ain't a situation like you literally, like you shooting me down, or you know how women can say, oh, no, boo-boo, I don't know why you trying to come up here and talk to me. It's not even that type of situation, which that's just women being women. But a situation where you literally bump into me, talk about excuse you, like you looking for a problem like a dude, call me out my name by calling me a B like a dude, throwing your drink in my face, and then swinging on me like you ready to get down how you live. She found the right one. she found the right one.
And that's what makes me just so worried, in general for people. Like, and I say this and I stand by this, you know what I'm saying? I'm not a confrontational person, because people are crazy. You know what I'm saying?
Yep, like, and there's nothing wrong with that. There's nothing wrong with that at all. But like if she would have ran past
thank you, fuck you, bitch. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like I said,
yeah, because you're a woman. You're a woman, and you're trying to, and you got to get out of that type of situation because that person is bigoted, But women that think like this, if she would have ran past the right one on the wrong day, you would have, it would have been nothing nobody can do.
Yeah, you're absolutely right. And even with I believe in the saying that everybody can't go. You know what I'm saying? Everybody can't be saved. Some people, like you said, they gotta be, hey, what happens. You know what I'm saying? You get your jaw rocked. You feel me? Like, hey, I don't know what you want me to say because you shouldn't have been doing XYZ. Like, things have consequences, and you can't just assume that the person that you choose to engage with, you know what I'm saying, in conversation or comfort or whatever is going to be fair. You know what I'm saying, with the situation. Like, they going, depending on where they coming from or what type of PTSD, what type of boundary they got set up for their respect. You know what I mean? You can't determine if they're going to play fair or if they're going to do something reciprocal, if they're going to keep it to just words. You can't assume that. So,
and I think, and it's gotten to the point within our society, and I know it's some no good dudes out there, LA. I understand that you dealt with your share of those type of men, but it's gotten to the point where it's like you have certain people within our society that think, oh, you can go, I'm just going to hit you or do something to you and it ain't going to be no consequence. It's just like another video I saw where a man was being respectful to the woman got to cursing the man out in front of her son. Then she turned around and threatened the dude, talking about some, oh yeah, because I got mines on me. And he was like, what? I got mines on. What are you saying? What are you talking about? I'm like, you doing this in front of your child. So now you can turn around and put you and your child in danger, threatening somebody like you're gonna do something to them because you got a firearm. It's
Right.
people like that is like it's people like that take people there. And then if that person, and it's all good if you feel that you got the upper hand and you ain't got nothing to lose. It's only till you run into somebody else who ain't got nothing to lose, and then we see who gonna be the victor out that situation.
But you know what? And it's like, I heard what you said earlier. I think we've all had bad experiences with both, whether you be men or women, right? But like, that doesn't stop me from seeing, people.
Oh yeah, I agree 100%.
You know what I'm saying? Like,
I'm talking about, yeah.
I can't let somebody else, you know what I'm saying, who wasn't, balanced or wasn't stable, cheat me from what I'm supposed to have in my goddamn life.
And I agree with you 100%. And I agree, and I'm all for the sisters out there that have your type
That's
of
for
mentality.
you too.
The sisters,
that's not just for the sisters.
No. I'm just talking about women like y'all. You, May, Candy, women like y'all that carry themselves, But like, we talking about influence and like with, oh yeah, May, we know all y'all packing in the South. We know all y'all packing in the South. But we talking about how it's so easily to be easily influenced to.
Yeah.
It seems like to me too. I don't know if you feel the same way, but it seems like in this day and age, people are getting more dumber. It seems like a lot of people are getting more dumber and slower.
Yeah, that's why they react so fast without thinking. You know what I'm saying? That's why they're quick to do some throw a drink and punch a nigga in the face type shit. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's why because they're not thinking. They're not thinking. When you live in ego, like, that's like the lowest, one of the lowest vibrations to exist in. It's important to have your ego intact. You know what I'm saying? And for it to exist. But there's too many people who are living in their ego. You know what I'm saying? And it don't take nothing for people to feel like that shit is threatened, and it just and they stop their critical
because they're very
and they just
insecure. They're very insecure, weak people, and ego masks a lot of insecurity, and it masks low self-esteem. It's almost like the people that keep trying to happen to tell themselves, "Oh, I'm this, I'm this, I'm this, I'm this. I do this, and we this, and we that." When it's really in you, you ain't got to do that. But you're telling yourself that to convince yourself, and that's what ego does for people with low self-esteem.
Right. I'm just wondering, like, I mean, but with saying that, that's why, and it's easier said than done. Like I said, you just got to remove yourself from certain environments, certain places, certain people, or whatever. That's just not going to be problematic. You know what I'm saying? Because, like, if people, everybody believes in this freedom of speech bullshit, and they can say whatever, but it doesn't have to mean anything to you if you do have healthy self-esteem and you know who you are. You know you're not a bitch ass nigga. You know what I'm saying? You know you ain't a punk. You know you ain't, you know what I'm saying? You know you ain't these things. Like, just like I know I'm not a bitch. You know what I'm saying? So if something happens and somebody wants to use that verbiage or that language towards me, call you broke, they call you, whatever, you know what I'm saying? Whatever they want to call you. If your self-esteem is intact, and it's like, man, obviously, like I said, withdraw your energy, but don't let that shit bother you.
Oh no, you're absolutely correct, and that just goes into my argument or what I was saying. Why you have a lot of people removing themselves from this environment. They're not coming back to help. They're not coming back to save nobody. They're not doing none of that because it's not reciprocated. It's almost like you're doing it in vain. You're sacrificing yourself only for nothing to really change. And this type of people within our community is starting to take a toll on people that just want to be normal, that just want to live normal lives, that don't really have a issue with the opposite sex at all. But the influence is so strong. And with social media, the influence has been rampant. And it's just sad. Even when what you broke down with Saucy Santana, as much as I feel for his experience on what happened with that family member, you still got to think with a logical mind that I can't have you around my kids, because a lot of people, when that's done to them, they turn around and do it to other people. You know what I'm saying? Or they turn around and do it to other children, people that's been touched. They turn around and touch other children, and we've seen and we've seen how he completely dodged those questions when it came to what Angela Yee asked him on her show. He completely dodged that question when he got too slick at the mouth and was feeling himself. Men want to ask me, kids want to ask me, everybody. He didn't even answer it. Oh, you ain't seen that?
No. Oh my God! Not everybody want to. No, the other clip that I had, he was on her other show, Lip Service, when the dude was about to send him 10,000.
That was the same show.
Oh my God!
That was the same show.
Okay, I had only seen that
was
clip.
The same show.
Sometimes I can't be putting myself through full episodes or whatever. So that was oh damn, man. That's even more pussy. I hate to, I don't want to be the one that jumps out the window, but I'll be like, that's why I was like, how can you say certain things?
And they was asking him about that, even as disgusting as it was to me. Even I guess some boys, I don't know if they was rainbow. I'm thinking that they had to be rainbow. Going up to talking about some I don't even want to repeat it, but practically when you hear his response, it's almost like I view myself as a woman, and I'm kind of happy that I'm getting that type of attention where I got other people looking at me, like, because that's what people really want. Is when you have men emulating women, they want attention, just like a woman wants attention for validation and everything. And that's exactly what was going on. That's when he said that. A lot of women like when you have, even though if it's men that they don't want, a lot of women like when they have men that wants the different men that's attracted to them. And that's exactly what these rainbow men want, because they're emulating women. Yeah. So, and especially with his background and the things that, whatever happened to him, it's bad, man. But that's the type of situation where you're like, yeah, I feel for you, man, but I can't have you around my kids like that. Can't have you around my nieces and nephews, because I don't know if you may feel, oh, well, what happened to me, let me do it to somebody else, because that happened a lot of the times.
Right. Yeah, they'll have to just be your cousin that you go to brunch with. You know what I'm saying? If anything, but having the family function, no, like, I'll come meet you at brunch. You know what I'm saying? Like, and we could, get something to eat and enjoy each other's company for a couple hours, and then I'm back off. Like, no, I totally agree. Like, and it is what it is, because you can't roll the dice with things that are important to you. You know what I'm saying? And
absolutely.
A lot of people, for good parents, our kids are important to us. Like, we don't want to see them suffering in any type of way. You know what I'm saying? So, but that's another sacrifice. That's another thing that, people have to be willing to do to make themselves uncomfortable. You know what I mean? Like, it's not just a community thing. It's a it can even be for your own family type shit. Like some people don't have the strength to stand up to their family members, even though they
That's
know that
true.
there's some creeps. So
That's
they just
true.
like, well, we just gonna keep you away from them, baby. Like, no, I'm the one that's gonna cuss your ass out. You feel what I'm saying? Like, how dare you? And
Hey,
we ain't never coming
LA,
back.
can I run past? Because I was gonna run this past Candy, and I noticed y'all been doing streams together. So can I run this idea past you on what I think would be like a good stream? I would want to see y'all do it together. Um, how about because I feel like us as black folks too, in order to get away from some of the negativity sometimes, we got to do certain streams that can be interesting and fun and at the same time positive. I don't think black people dwell until they pass enough on past accomplishments and what we've done. So I think you and Candy should do a history on black fashion from the 1980s, 90s into the 2000s. And what fashions, and you play like a little game on what fashions y'all think should come back or what fashions should stay gone, or if certain fashions today would, if certain fashions today.
Okay. I'm typing this into my phone.
Yeah, and just do extensive research on you like 80s hip hop fashion, 90s hip hop fashion, certain fashion from, you know, different eras and different things like that, certain hairstyles. That'd be dope because that's celebrating our history and our culture on where we actually came from. And I think that'd be fun for people to participate in because I feel like a lot of days too, a lot of black people, we say we black, but a lot of black people don't really know about their own culture like that. They only know about the now. They don't really know about, you know.
That's true. We
anything
used to
outside
be,
of that.
boy, we used to be sharp, boy.
You know,
Like
I'm trying to bring back some Tommy Hilfiger. You know that
90
they don't make
degrees
that.
outside. They outside with the button up with the suspenders, goddamn hat on. What you talking about?
You know that they don't make Fila suits no more, Fila track suits no more.
Oh.
So I'm trying to get a couple. I bought one, trying to get me another one.
Okay. But yes, okay. So your era, you like more of the 90s fashion.
Yeah, that was my era as a kid on what I remember. Like I remember when I got my first silver chain as a kid. You couldn't tell me nothing. I got I was trying to show it off and everything. I was like, I got a silver chain. Not even I'm thinking I'm the truth. Back when we had the, you know, the crescent moon parts and the cut as boys, when girls used to wear the bangs over their head and all of that. And I think that'll be a fun stream to do.
Yeah, that would be fun actually, because I don't know, because I was, you know, my sister was born like in the 70s or whatever. So when she was a teenager, she was definitely on her fly girl shit. And we lived outside of Chicago. We lived in Homewood, Flossmoor in 92. So
you know, I live like about 10, 15 minutes away from Homewood.
Oh, awesome. Yeah, so like she definitely was the one who had the nails, a different type of jewelry, you know, the initial jewelry, the Malcolm X hat with the top cut out so she could let her curls and shit pop out, like, you know, cross colors, Carl Kanai, all that stuff.
I think that'd be a if you and Candy do that together, I think that'd be a very interactive stream.
That would be kind of
a lot
fun.
With a lot of people, it'll be, you know, it ain't no debating, challenging back and forth. People can, you know, express some of their fondest memories on what should stay gone or what should come back. That'd be dope.
Now that would be fun actually. I like how the games end up doing really well. You know what I'm saying? Like when we play games on streams, like that should be fun. I can't even lie. All right, well I got those notes down. You said starting at the 1950s. You want to go back that far?
Nah. I said at the 80s.
Oh,
but damn, I guess you could go back to the 70s, but you can mention the 30s and stuff. You can mention those eras. Just like when I say mention those eras, like talk about the zoo suits and different things like that, and the naturals of the or maybe even the curls of the 60s on how people was wearing their hair. Laying it down. You can mention those eras, but yeah, I'll stick to the 80s and the 90s.
Okay.
Stuff like that.
Okay, I got it.
And the 2000s.
For the 99, the 2000. No, I'm just playing. Okay, I got you. 1980s to the 2000s. Okay.
And get y'all pictures together Look up old pictures from the Source magazine. Look up old pictures from Double XL magazine, old Tommy Hilfiger promotions, old Carl Canal promotions, and different things like that. You get all of that stuff together, and that'll be a fun stream.
Yeah, I think that will be too. I'll take that suggestion down. We'll try to get that together on like a weekend stream for us. Appreciate that.
Yeah, that'll be super dope. Both of y'all do that, because I was trying to run it by Candy, but I lost track of time. But I figured that y'all can do that together. That'd be dope.
Okay. All right. Well, I definitely will run it by her. She should want to do it. That's like I said, that's a fun game. I did one like I don't know, over a year ago with the old school like theme songs and jingles and shit.
Oh yeah.
When I would play like certain, like whether it be like a theme song for a show, like a TV show or something like back from like the 80s or the 90s or whatever. That was a fun game. I can't even lie. That was fun.
We all knew growing up, especially if you ain't had no cable, when you heard that the world just don't move at the beat of just one drum. What might be right for you may not be right for some.
You feel me? Like hell yeah. But it was like the Mario, Super Mario stuff, like all kinds of shit. Like it was just anything from my childhood. So yeah, that would be cool.
Hey, remember when people used to record like different shows over tapes, right? Remember that one scene? I was just watching that the other day, and I was eating. I almost spit my food out my mouth. I was laughing so hard. Remember that one scene on Martin when Martin was trying to find himself, and Cole. He went to the coat thing, and Cole brought the tape over. He came asking for some milk. He was like, "Yeah, because Big Shirley ain't went grocery shopping, Gene, and I need some milk for these Fruit Loops." And Gina was like, "Cole, it's like 5 a.m. and Martin is missing." And he like, "Oh well, he did stop by and gave me this tape for y'all to watch." And Tommy was like, "Give me this damn tape. You talking about some fruit? You about as stupid as I don't know what." And here we go. And remember that part where Martin was saying, telling he was on the tape. He was like, "Look, I just need to go find myself, baby. I don't know what I'm doing with my life. And I got a page of Gina, baby. So if you need to reach me, remember the number is 812 555. Then you just heard good time.
Somebody had to keep over the end of that shit. Hell yeah.
And he was like, Cole, what did she do? He was like, "Oh, my bad. Mom must have been recording good times in the VCR."
Goodness gracious. He gave you a tape and you put this shit in the... Never mind. Cole is gone, okay? Because never mind. I don't even want to know. But yeah, that shit was funny. All right, 18th. I'm going to go ahead and get ready to wrap this up. It's dinner time.
Yeah, I'm over here making dinner myself. Okay, I got me some... I'm going to make me some shrimp pasta. Ooh. I got my zucchini. I got my mixed vegetables, my peppers, and my garlic, my red onion. And
we need some pictures in the Discord when you get done. Stop talking.
Okay.
And all this your meal prepping. Hey, Ebony. All your meal prepping and your cooking and all this. So we need some pictures.
Hey, what's going on, Ebony? Salute, Ebony. But yeah, I didn't know if I really wanted to keep the pasta just basic, or if I wanted to make like a little lemon cream sauce or whatever. But I might make it. But if I just wanted to keep it olive oil and butter.
Yeah, that's what I was about to say. You might not want to use too much of the dairy stuff. It depends on what you're trying to do.
Take it easy, Ola. Yeah, you're right about that. So I think
the olive oil and the lemon. That sounds good with some Italian seasoning.
Yeah, I got me some wheat pasta. So
I'm
trying to keep it. Yeah, I'm just trying to keep it like that. So yeah, and ain't nobody tell me that when you buying these damn wild caught shrimp, you got to peel every shell.
Yes. Oh my God! No, you learning some extra stuff now. Next
I wish I would have known that. I'm like, God damn! I didn't know I was gonna have to do all of this work. I gotta go to work tomorrow. I don't feel like doing this, but I done already thought it out now, so I got to.
It's gonna be worth it. It's gonna be worth it. It better is done right. You know what I'm saying? Because you gonna be sitting there eating some crunchy ass shrimp. Be like, why is it so crunchy?
Yeah.
Because the shell's still on that shit.
Yep. And another thing that I learned, you can actually save those shells and make it shrimp stock.
Ooh, that's a good point. That's a good point.
Something else. That's one thing that I love. I do love cooking. I got to shout out to May because I love looking at May's gardening. I think that brings a lot of peace and serenity. Gardening, you know, eating healthy vegetables, just know that you're getting certain nutrients that's being absorbed in your body to help you, you know, to help with your health. You can't beat it, man. You can't beat it. It's very important. Very.
Absolutely, yeah. Them homegrown vegetables be tasting totally different, man. I
Totally
swear.
Totally different.
Yeah, my mom's been doing that.
And now you see too with
potatoes and stuff for years.
Yeah, you see why a lot of people so angry, man. All of that processed food, all of that, you know. And don't get me wrong, some of us we do what we got to do because you know things are expensive, but it shows you like when you cooking at home and you able to make you know, your own food with your own natural ingredients and different things like that. It brings you, you know, it brings a lot of joy. You know, it's for, you know, your health and everything.
Yeah,
you know,
satisfaction for sure.
Brings you a lot of satisfaction. Absolutely.
All right, 18th. Well, thank you so much for sponsoring the show today. Sorry nobody else wanted to help you out with the panel, but you know what I'm saying? I'm glad that you opened it up.
It's not a problem at all. It's not a problem at all. I'm surprised Simon ain't donating as much as he talked.
Man, he never does. I don't have a super chat button yet. He might do that when I get one. Who knows?
Donate not £1.
Right. Not one shilling.
Running his mouth about how much money.
Not one farthing.
May. Hey, gal. Hey, gal. I'm talking to you, gal.
Yeah, gal. Hey, May, gal. I like you, gal. May got about here shook, and she a channel is a faceless channel. Shoot. Yeah, they don't have Cash App but hey, I have another link that people can use their credit cards or whatever. I found a loophole around that shit, and he still ain't donate nothing. But it's all good. It's all good.
Yeah.
But anyway, I'm gonna go ahead and get up off of here. And I'll probably see you later on at Docs if you're not.
Yep. You'll see me over there, man. Shout out to you, LA. Thank you for allowing me on your platform.
Oh, anytime. Anytime.
You know, I know I can get a little controversial with my views. I don't mean to, but I'll just be trying to make sense of it all when people, you know, and try to be just a straight shooter when it comes to on what I see that's going on out here. So, shout out to you once again, and thanks for having me up. Shout out to Candy. Shout out to Ebony and May in the chat. So, y'all take it easy.
All right, that was 18th. I'll see you later. All right, y'all. That was appreciate May, Candy, Bronzebird for coming up and kicking it with your girl for the one time. Hope that everybody is having a great Monday, and I hope that you guys have a great rest of your day. And yeah, just thank you guys for rocking out. Shouts out to Rakim for being sponsor of today's show. Thank you also, Candy Cane, for your donation. And we're going to go ahead and get up out of here. Just be careful of what you surround yourself by. All right. Because even something that you might just see as something that's harmless and fun could have a little bit more of a hold on you than you'd like to admit. All right. So y'all continue to be good to yourselves so you can be good to other people. And I'll see you next time. Peace out.
Things aren't perfect, it's all about the journey and where